this should be working now. So what's up, summoners? King Blair here. Today, as every Sunday, we're gonna be doing some arena and chill, where we basically do some arena fights that are typically, pretty chill. Cause arena is arena. I don't have to focus actively on it, and we usually do talk about a lot of stuff, both about the game and just some overall stuff that we want to talk about. For today, in particular, I do want to do a quick account overview. I have gotten a lot of new units recently, and I've been actively building them and changing a lot of my gear around. I should be changing a lot of gear around next week as well. The other thing is also we're going to be talking about is something that you guys wanted to hear from the last update, which was some units that I think need buffs, right? Because we just got the EEs, and those were pretty nice buffs to some of those units, but there should be a balance patch within about 6 to 8 weeks. It's usually after the RTA season ends, they'll announce the buffs, and then 2 to 3 weeks after they'll actually release the buff. So it's like not super close, but it's still something we could start talking about, like what needs buffs, right? And then what we also can talk about is going to be kind of the sleeper units. So these are units that a lot of people may not know are actually very, very strong, that actually are doing really, really good in the current meta, both in arena, RTA, and even we'll talk about PvE. So we'll do a little bit of everything, right? We'll do a little bit of everything. I'll give you guys some tips and tricks of the trade to help you in all the different stuff, in all the different content. Some of the stuff that like top players are using, some of the stuff that is starting to see more play, and it's starting to become like, more of a thing, right? And hey, what's up, Camway? Oh, sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. Yeah, Hey, my bad. But yeah, so fun stream, right? So we'll talk about all that stuff. But as always, while we wait for more people, before we get to the juicy discussions, we are going to be doing some arena. I don't know if I want to push to legend tonight. I think we could because it's off season. We don't get points, right? So that's one of the reasons why I haven't. I have been seeing this defense a lot recently. Like a lot. Just the Rowana, T-Sur, and FCC Polides. I think this is like the most popular defense I've seen recently. And it's like kind of annoying, but it's not like I don't particularly lose to it too often. It's usually not too bad. It's usually not too bad. Is a sell viable in arena? I don't think so unless you're doing it for fun, right? Everything's viable in arena if you give them godlike gear and give them the good stuff. But all right, let me look for a chill playlist that we can play, hopefully royalty free, so we don't get stroked down. So let me try to get that music up and running for you guys. That will we'll get you guys to just kind of chillax. No, this is actually pretty good. So and all the music from today is gonna be from Chill Out Records. So if you wanted to know for the music, if you can hear it, it's gonna be from this channel. So from Chill Out Records. Pretty nice so far. I like it. The music always sets the mood for me. But alright, Ameru needs to be buffed. Oh, we're going to talk about Ameru. She's actually going to be one of the units that's like kind of a sleeper unit. She's actually doing really good right now. Some people, like apparently recently one of the top guilds with Aetherbulge, they just said that Ameru is probably one of the best units you can get. And hey, what's up, Mimika? But yeah, apparently Ameru is stomping right now in a lot of different locations. So we'll talk about that. We'll get to it. But let's just do some arena while we wait. This defense, honestly, dude, I'm kind of tired of going against it. What I have been doing against it is actually just so if y'all don't know, I finally did get FCC, and she's everything I hoped and more. She's everything I could have ever asked for. What I have been running against these type of teams is just this. It's just safe. It's consistent. It kills. It works. It's decently fast. It's not super fast, but it's decently fast. All of them are immunity, so I can just eat the Polides S3. They're like decently slow, so they'll take first turn and do like no damage because FCC's on board. Yeah, I think it was Light. I think it was Fleet. Fleet just did a Twitch stream recently where they talked about a lot of stuff for Epic 7. I have not watched the stream, but I know that Aetherbulge did say that our team and Mercedes, he was like, yeah, our team and Mercedes is bonkers, and you should definitely, like, if you have her, build her, because she's insane. Okay, sorry, I needed to do some audio stuff because it was too loud for me. But okay, it should be better now. But yeah, we got some spicy stuff. But I believe it was Fleet. I don't think it was Life. I think it was Fleet. It was an interest. I haven't watched the stream. I need to watch the video, but someone was telling me about it. And Aetherbulge is a top level player, right? He's like #1 in arena, #1 in RTA. He's like super high everywhere, right? So his opinion means a lot. And the fact that he's saying, oh, our team Ameru, and he wasn't like memeing about it. He legitimately like believes that, you know, Ameru is broken. But yeah, so this is the team, again, this is the team I've been running. It's like, it's pretty safe. And Alencia does a shocking amount of damage. I always forget how much damage she actually can do. The A Tywin and the Specimen Says are also speed tune. So I'll always be able to set up properly. And then they always have immunity. So I really like this team. It's a chill team, right? And it's fun because I get to play with Specimen Says a lot. Alright, and here we basically get to kill one unit, right? So we usually either go for Polides or for... This time we can go for anyone, dude. I don't even know who to go for. Let's just get rid of the SCC because then the fight gets a lot faster. But yeah, this team is fun. I'm really liking my Specimen Says. I'm really happy with the current build that I have on him. It sucks that we just pushed up. Oh, we don't really need to hit Polides anymore. We can actually start hitting Roana, I think. I think my Specimen Says should be able to cut in here. He was not able to. And we can't really kill the T-Cern here, so let's just do S1. Hey, what's up, Deets? What's up, Auxiliary? I still don't know how to spell your name, bro. I don't know why I'm so bad at it. But yeah, you're early today, yeah. It's nice. Okay, I usually stream around the same time. It's like, I feel like sometimes I stream like 1 hour before or 1 hour later. But recently I've been trying to do like 10 p.m. On Sundays, and then Tuesday streams are pretty much canceled at this point. I might stream this Sunday because all my classes got canceled, so I might actually stream this Sunday just because of that. But okay, we can pretty much turn this on auto at this point. But we're just kind of going through with Specimen Says and killing everything, so. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's super fast that they did it that way. This is one of those Roanas that's like high F res, so it's gonna take a while. Hey, what's up, kissing me? But yeah, so again, for the people joining in, kind of the stuff we're gonna be talking about is gonna be account overview. As you guys see, I actually do have my Specimen Says properly built this time, and my Landy's properly built. My who else do I have that's like properly built now? FCC. I have a T-Cern now, y'all. Oh man, there's some good stuff. I have not tried the T-Cern out though. But she feels pretty spicy. A lot of them are waiting on reforges. As you guys are gonna watch it and y'all are gonna be like, dude, what is all this gear that doesn't have reforges or anything? It sucks that we already used the S3 earlier, because now we can't use it. But yeah, this defense is annoying, but it's decently easy. But yeah, we'll do the account overview after we do a couple of arena fights, and then we'll go over the account overview. And then some potential buffs and sleeper units. Dude, I really want an Ameru now. Like, the more I look at our team and Mercedes, the more I'm like, man, I really want this unit now. She looks so fun, dude. And she's starting to pop up a lot in Guild Wars defenses as well. If y'all didn't know this, she's actually becoming like a premier arena defense unit. If you have her for arena defense, she's actually a really, really freaking strong arena defense unit. Or Guild Wars, not arena. Guild Wars. In arena, she's not that great. But in Guild Wars, dude, oh man, Ameru is insane. Another unit that we're going to be talking about is going to be Briar Witch Iseria. She's becoming one of the best units in the game. No lie. But yeah, our team Mercedes and Guild Wars defense, it's usually like the FCC, our team and Mercedes T-Cern defenses. Because it's the same idea as like Charles, right? Where what you're trying to do with that defense is just like, you're trying to make it so you can, you punish the opponent for bringing AoE to try to hit your T-Cern. And the thing about our team and Mercedes that makes her like particularly good is the fact that she can spam S1 into the AoE one, strip your buffs, and set up perfectly into a T-Cern. Whereas like Charles can only hit one target and strip a buff. And our team and Mercedes can actually hit a unit, proc the S2, strip 2. The other thing is like if they try to tank you out, which a lot of people try to tank people out, you can't do it. You can't tank someone out, right? Because if you try to tank them out, what's going to end up happening is you're going to get restricted and then you're going to get burnt down, right? So like F Maya's not going to work, A Tywin's not going to work. A lot of those units aren't going to work. Oh man, we didn't land it on the FCC. Feels bad. That's just gonna make this fight take a lot longer, but should still be a win. Hey, what's up, Colby? Oh yeah, also offensive is really good. But let me see some other stuff. Yeah, I mean, Kraw's always good, but that's why they have the FCC there, right? So that's why the FCC's there, and that's why the T-Seren's there. It's just so much pressure on your team that it's really hard to take him out in Guild Wars defense. Like, in Guild Wars defense, he's actually becoming, like, one of the best units. I'm trying to decide if I want to do Soulburn S1 here or save it for the... Yeah, I'm just going to do it here. But let me see some other stuff y'all are saying. Yeah, I wish I tried pulling for her because she looked really cool, but she's so good. And hey, what's up, Colby? Why are you depressed, Colby? Did you not get a lot of the units from the banner? From the FCC banner? Book BMHS DPS. Blood Moon Haste? Interesting. This is really greedy, but I think we can kill the FCC. No, we didn't kill her. Alright, we're boosted. We're boosted. Oh, that kind of sucks, actually. I almost don't want to kill her now, because then she's going to be able to do S3. Yeah, I'm not going to kill her right now. I'm gonna start going on her. Oh, wait. She still dies regardless. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, I'll show my specs in a second. I just wanted to clear this list and then we'll go over to my gear. I wanted to get to Champion 2 and then we'll do the account overview. Y'all are going to be impressed. I've gotten very far in my account. My account has gotten big updates recently. What build do people have? Dude, let me see if I still have it pinned. The build that people are going for on our team of Mercedes is counter set. You need to have counter set on your team of Mercedes. If your team of Mercedes does not have counter set, she's not going to do her job. Counter set our team of Mercedes with like really good defensive stats, like 180 speed, but like a super insane defensive stats and like a bunch of attack, and she does so much work, dude. Did I summon for the girls? Heck yeah, bro. Oh man, I'm so excited to show y'all. All right, let me finish this fight and then we'll get to the spicy stuff, which is the account review. And I'll still answer questions. We're definitely going to talk about our team Mercedes more. We're definitely going to talk about Briar, which I say more. This team is a little bit on the slow side for this. I'm still trying to figure out if I can just Bazaar this. But I mean, that's what these teams are trying to do, is just stall you for time. It sucks that we get dual attacks when we don't want them. And that this is a Celestine Roana. Dude, Roana is so annoying for defense. Alright, let's put a decreased defense and then just get rid of her. Oh, we got S3 up already. Nice. So we'll be able to kill the Roana. You think our team of Mercedes is going to get a buff? No, I think she's good as she is. If she gets a buff, she would actually become the best unit in this game. Like, I'm not lying to you guys when I say that. She actually might become one of the best units in this game. Because the thing about it is we're also starting to slow down the meta a lot. Like, the meta's starting to slow down again. And she really benefits from a slow meta. Like, hard. Dude, this sucks that she got the S3 right on time. Oh, man. We just keep giving her proc. She's always going to go into the SCC. Thankfully, we can kill the Roana here. And then we can just clap. And then auto. I think it's on Twitch. I don't know who it was, but it was a live stream. It was Fleet, which is the guild. It's like the number 3 guild. And they're like primarily, like, all the players there are like super good at RTA, right? Like, the only thing that they don't even care about Guild Wars, they only care about RTA. But they still have such good units that they just talk, but they only talk about RTA there. And it was the number 1 player in Arena, which is Bulge. He said that she's insane for everything, right? So it's a player that he's also Legend RTA, right? But okay, let me see some of the other stuff. Did we get it? Oh, we didn't get it. That's so annoying. At least we got the clear list, but yeah, see, this guy's already starting to use it. But this team looks kind of free, unless it's like insanely fast. But they also started hiding the frames. I realized that as well. It doesn't look bad, actually. Like, a lot of these lists look actually pretty easy. Like, this looks like free low. But okay, let me do the count review and then we'll go back to Arena. I don't think she needs a buff. Alright, first, we'll talk about the buff units in a little bit later. But let's actually do the count review first. because I'm actually really excited to show you guys some of the stuff I have. And then we're going to talk about RT Mercedes and some of the meta units that I wanted to do later on. If it was 100% without Soulburn, she would be so good. But let me see. Lela Violin is the best thing for her. I really do think Lela Violin is the thing that she needs because it's so annoying. Like, it's so much utility that she has off her S1. But I haven't getting up the artifacts. Yeah, that sucks that you didn't get the artifacts. But that's nice you didn't have to pity them. Oh yeah, I mean, Emeru's starting to become really good. Alright, I'll show the landing and everything. I'm gonna show you guys everything, right? And I'll talk about each one. So alright, account review time. So let me put a tag in case I remember to actually put bookmarks. But yeah, I mean, she's not, like, I remember y'all telling y'all she's gonna get better with time. Like, the longer this game goes, the better our team and Mercedes is gonna get. At the time she was released, it was doing control meta, and she does not do good against, like, heavy control teams at all. She gets dumpstered by heavy control teams. She gets dumpstered by aggro teams, right? And that was the meta. But now that we're going back to a Bruiser-ish meta, she's doing a lot better. Is she, like, broken OP? I don't think she's quite there yet, but she's starting to get there. As more units are released, as different things happen, she's starting to get there. But okay, yeah, she's super strong right now. Like, the thing about it is it's really hard. It's a really hard to build unit, really hard to play, needs a full team of units, but has insane potential. The only unit I can think that's similar to it would be something like, what's a unit that's like that? Like, you need a full team of, like, Specimen Says to an extent, right? Where Specimen Says is OP in the right team, right? Where Specimen Says can just, like be super tanky and do so much work. And, like, be insane in the right team composition, right? It's kind of that idea where, like, high investment, but has insane ceiling, can only get better with time. But okay, let's do that account overview, and then we'll go through it. And yes, I am from Texas. Thankfully, I was okay during the snowstorm. I know a lot of people were not, and hopefully they're all okay. But okay, let me go over. So Sermia, it's a PvE Sermia. I strictly use her for PvE. I have not needed to use her for Guild Wars. You can use her for Guild Wars. She's actually pretty good in Guild Wars if you have a PvP one. But this one right now, it's legit just strictly for PvE. That's why she doesn't have reforges. Not the best. Nothing crazy. Holiday Euphine, I really want to go back and finish moloing. I'm seeing myself use her a lot more. And I want to finish moloing her because Bazaar is everywhere again, dude. Bazaar is starting to be crazy. And because I started using FCC, I'm actually using her a lot more. I still have to fix some of her gear. She's a little too slow right now, right? So that's the only problem I see with her right now is she's too slow. I like all the other stats a lot. I like all the stats she has, but she just feels too slow. So I might try to make this faster. Maybe drop a little bit of the health. But she's okay for now, right? Ideally, she'd be 240 speed. That would be amazing if I could get it there. But I'm pretty happy with where she is now. Would be awesome to get more speed on her. That's the only complaint I have for her. But I really like her. Yeah, 241 speed is perfect. I am from Texas, Curtis. I just got really lucky. Not everyone lost power. So I am from Texas. I just didn't lose power. DFW was really bad. I'm not from DFW, so that's why it wasn't too bad. Texas is a little bit better, though. What speed? I think 240 is perfect for her. Bazaars typically tend to range anywhere from 240 to like 280. But you want her to go before the rest of your team. So as long as she needs to be faster than the rest of your team. That's all you need for her is to be faster than the rest of your team. If she's faster than the rest of the team, you're fine. But ideally, you want her at 240 because then you can outspeed their tanks and then your tanks can take turn 1. Because she does have that CR push. I like her a lot. I'm starting to use her a lot more. I want to actually invest a little bit more in her. Maybe get her friendship up. I still think I have the gifts. Yeah, I do. I was going to give them all to her. I really wanted to give her the friendship points because I think she looks... Her faces are really cool. Okay, but that's her. My Robbie, who I'm having a lot of trouble optimizing. The only thing I want to change is have more crit rate. But as we know, with that update coming up soon, I might actually be able to do that. I might go in here and tweak a couple of these. Probably like the neck that doesn't have crit rate and kind of tweak it, right? Because I think the ring in the neck... It's just the neck, right? So I'm thinking I might take away this 45 attack and give her some more crit rate. It's just really hard to get a Ravi to be like really good. I'm really happy with mine. I still use mine everywhere. She hits the bare minimum for crit rate, and I mean she does her job. She solos and she does work. Ross, I'm not happy with my Ross. This neck is holding me back. I need a neck that has more speed. I need this neck to have at least 14 speed. At least. I know that's like whale standards, but I want my Ross to be close to 240 speed. I still need to reforge the sword, which is actually a pretty decent sword. But I want him to be at 240 speed. That's the only thing. Everything else is fine. Once I reforge the ring and the sword and get a neck that has like 14 speed, he's set, right? He'll be beautiful. He'll be amazing, right? But I need to reforge this ring, which is actually a really good ring, and I need to reforge this sword, which is actually a pretty good sword. So once I reforge those pieces, I'll be happy with my Ross. He's on Bastion. I wish I would have given him or have bought Monarchs. I think Monarchs is better on him. Like Monarchs, I don't have a Monarchs. It's the CC equipment. I really want the CC equipment because I think that's the best one for him. Bastion still works for me when I decide to play Sten. I mean, it gives me some stuff. But let me some of the other stuff that you guys have been saying. Diddy's also a control player. That is true. Can you be fastest with Andy, Momo, F. Flurry, and SSB? Dude, I have not done the... Leandro, I have not done the fight for Strasse in a very long time. Because my account is just so much further, I don't even remember the stuff. If you can type what he does, I mean, you probably can. I just kind of did, like, Momo, Charles, and someone else. You just need someone to strip the barrier, right? It's just strip the barrier and you win the fight. So if you have someone to strip the barrier, you're set. I'm not the only Control Bruiser YouTuber. Deity's Control, I'm Control Bruiser. I like Control a lot. I don't know why. I don't know why I hate myself like that. But Deity's the... Oh, yeah, Deity. Alright, so if you guys didn't know, I actually really like Deity. Me and him are like... We're pretty cool. Maybe one day I'll actually get him on stream. Alright, complete side note from what we're talking about. But if you guys don't know who they're talking about, Deity... Huge shout out to this guy, right? I really like him. He's really funny. If you can, you should go watch one of his streams. He's on Twitch. I think he's really funny. But let me link you guys his Twitch. Maybe I'll get him here one day. Maybe me and Deity can have a talk here on YouTube because he's on Twitch. But he's a control player. He's super funny. He's super like real with you. Like that's what I appreciate. He's very real about the game. He's not like someone that's gonna like sugarcoat stuff for you. So it's pretty nice. He is a little, some people do think he's a little bit too bitter, but I like him. Maybe one day we'll get him in stream one day here on YouTube, and we'll have like a little talk. But I like him. But let me see some of those stuff. 6 on my F. Clear and Ross. Oh, dude, F. Clear and Ross is insane. I'm glad are you using them, Curtis? Are you happy you have them? Because they're both insane. But they're so good. F. Clear is insane, dude. If I pull 2 of CCs, I would feed one into the other one for the imprint and use the coins for Orby that's coming out next month. That's honestly what I would do if I got a dupe FCC. I mean, I want the imprints on FCC a lot. But I like Deity a lot. I like him a lot. I like how real he is. I like how raw he is. I like his playstyle. It's fun. It's different. It's cool. Oh, yeah? Oh, let's not talk about Psycho, bro. Y'all gonna get me heated. But yeah, Deity also has a YouTube. Oh, yeah. But I think he cares more about his Twitch than the YouTube. Go check out the YouTube, too, though, if you have the chance. Angelica, honestly, I would tell you, Angelica's not in a great spot. I think it's just better if you invest in Momo, Leandro. Angelica is not in the best spot right now. It's just Momo just outshines her in every single content in like every single way. But alright, let's keep going with some of the stuff. Hey, what's up, Ink? But Lilius, not in a good spot. I really like Lilius. I tried to go for the effect resistance build. Looked at the gear and realized I don't have OP effect resistance build and I need to change her. There are some really good pieces and these pieces will be going on Kitty Clarissa. I am building a Kitty Clarissa on the side. Right, so some of these pieces, like, they're pretty insane, right? Like, this piece is bonkers. But then the rest are, like, mediocre. And she doesn't have any built-in FRES. So I never see myself using her. And, like, there's a lot of attack stats around. So I want to give this set to Kitty. I think Kitty Clarissa will do a lot better with this set than this. So I do need to change my Lilius to a Night Lilius with immunity. But this I want my Kitty to have. Because with Kitty, you get like 20% innate effectress. So she would be like, once post reforge, my Kitty would be like 220. And then with Strix, it's 280. Right? So like, why am I trying to force Lilius when I don't have the gear to make an FRS Lilius? I'm just going to make Lilius a Bruiser. And I'm going to give this to Kitty and have fun with Kitty. But yeah. Needs a rework. Probably going to be reworked next week. Kayron. Yes, still no, I love Kayron. I am switching his build. I made him a slow Kayron. I needed the speed pieces for other units, sadly, and it's not his meta for speed build. But I am having fun with this build with Fallen Cecilia. I do still need to reforge the helmet and the neck, and he will get 100% crit rate. He'll get a lot more damage, get a lot more critical hit damage. He'll be like the cookie cutter, strong, slow Kayron. Feels bad that he's not like where he used to be in my account. I used to love playing with Kayron. I still do play with him a lot when I can. But I definitely need to find reforges for these two. It just sucks that this one low rolled so hard, dude. Like, this one low rolled so hard and it low rolled into defense. With the change coming up soon, I might make this, like, flat attack in the future. So, but it just low rolled and it makes me sad. And then this just, like, it's really good critical hit damage with the health. I mean, this health is going to be speed or something. I don't know, dude. I'll figure it out. But I like this one. It's fun. Melissa, haven't used her since I built her. Not because I don't like Melissa, but because I don't like Oxalots. I hate playing with Oxalots. I did lose to a really cool Melissa team, though. In Champion, too, in RTA. I was like, dude, this guy's like Omega Big Brain. He was doing like a Polides cleave with Melissa, and I was like, this guy's way smarter than I will ever be, right? I was just like, okay, that's really cool. Tama, strictly PvE Tama. I might actually need to reforge her soon because of all the PvE changes. She's just kind of on spare gear. Like, this is a terrible sword for her. I think I might actually upgrade her this weekend. This chest is actually not bad for her. This chest is actually really good for her, not gonna lie. So I might upgrade the chest, and then I might... actually, let's do it right now. I think I have charms, so... I barely have enough gold, though. Dude, I am so low gold because of all the stuff I've been doing. So I'll do that later, and I do need to change some of the stuff, like, in the neck, I think. Actually, the neck is fine. It's honestly just the sword. Everything else looks actually pretty decent. The sword's just trash. Everything else is actually pretty good on her. I actually like it, not gonna lie. It's pretty nice. So I'm actually pretty happy with her. She does her job. Luna, strictly PvE Luna. I use her for the Fire Expedition. I might reforge her as well because of the changes that are coming to Expedition. I might actually take the time to reforge her, but she's not priority on the reforged list. Right? The Lilius, the Lilius, yeah, she's slow, but she didn't have max boots, Cam. The Lilius, don't worry about the Lilius. Yeah, the Lilius is getting changed. The Lilius is trash right now. Don't worry about the Lilius. We haven't gotten into the spicy stuff yet. I actually really like her for the Fire Expedition. I am gonna reforge her potentially for Expedition Fire 3. But it's not bad. I mean, like, some of the pieces are actually pretty good on her. They're like decent. And she does good. She does her job. I like it. How much do I see Blue Car RTA? All the time, dude. Blue Car is insane. Sigrid, this is my Wyvern Sigrid. I don't have her on Rage set because I never farmed for Rage set. But, like, it meets the stat. A little bit too much effectiveness. The crit rate, I use Furious, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, it gets the job done. That's all she's there for, is to kill Wyvern. And she does her job pretty well. So, Crow, I do want to rework him, but I just don't think I have the gear right now. And it's really hard for me to replace some of these pieces. Like, for this, it's just really hard to replace this helmet. And, like, even this ring, even though it's not, like, really good, it's like, look at that defense. I haven't found an immunity piece that's better than this. So that's why he'll probably be this way. I would like to up his defense to 25k and put him on immunity set. That's it. That's all I would want. If I can get him on immunity set and give him to 25k HP, I am completely fine with my Crow. And I would be crazy happy. Any general recommendations for Expedition 3? Luluka. If you have a Luluka for Expedition 3 for Fire, you're set. If you have a Crow or a Rose is actually better than Crow for Expedition 3, but I just use Crow. If you have a Rose for Fire Expedition, she gives attack buff, gives you CR push. It's just, she's really good for Expedition. She's really good for Expedition. The Rose. And just like cleanses, pushes up. She's probably one of the best support, one of the best frontliners for Expedition 3. Really, really good. Crow is also really good. Just have the unit that can do the CR push in your set. I use Luna and Deanne because I don't want to build my... What's her spear girl's name? I forgot her name. You just need really... Like, you got Lulena, who's free to play. You can do Luna and Deanne. Not really free to play. And then you can also do... Lorena. That's her name. Lorena, you can do Lorena and she also does the job. It's pretty easy. Destina's not meta. She's kind of niche, but she's really fun to use. I do have mine build, but I think Ray's better than Destina right now. If you are struggling with control teams, Destina does a pretty good job at it, but it's just really hard to gear. Yeah. Destina's not meta, but she can definitely do her job. But yeah, Crow, ideally more HP, and I'd be set. That's all I want. More HP and immunity set. If I can get those two things, I am super happy with my Crow. My Cerise, who is on a tank build, again, yeah, feels bad at the ring, but it's just really good speed, so what can you do? It's a tank build Cerise. She's there to be annoying. She's there to support my team. I do want to up the effectiveness to 85%. Why? Because I want to run her in Dark Expedition. So I need to find a better ring for her. If I can find a ring that has effectiveness, that gives 14% effectiveness, I am super happy with my Cerise, right? If I can find a better ring, then I'm like super ecstatic because then it's a PvE PvP series. Seaside, I do use her a lot in Arena. I have not seen myself using her in RTA that much. Yeah, Lorina's really good for fire. I use Clarissa at Momo, Alexa, Fierce, and Wyvern team. Should I spend Mola on Clarissa for more damage? Save. If you can safely run at Wyvern 13 with the team that you just mentioned, you can safely run that team. I don't see the point of not Moling her because you like faster Wyvern runs means more runs, right? But if it's not a priority, but it'd be nice if you wanted to do that. If you wanted faster runs, which is like nice when there's an event, but only if you can already do Wyvern 13. Don't Mola anything unless you're already at Wyvern 13, right? If you're not at Wyvern 13, or you shouldn't be like investing too much in those units because it's clearly not getting you there. LQC's dude, LQC's insane, dude. Well, she's so good. Build your LQCs. LQC's insane. I don't have one, but she's so good. She's just really hard to build. But she's super good in the current meta. She's tanky, can kill units like nothing. Super good counter pick. But okay, let me keep going through. Seaside, I primarily use her for Arena and occasionally in RTA when there's no Last Rider Crawl. But there's always a Last Rider Crawl, so she doesn't see as much play. So this is, I mean, I like the build. She does a lot of damage. A little bit on the squishier side with the HP. But everything else is like, it's a damage Seaside. So she can do pretty good damage overall because of the critical hit damage, has really good crit rate. Ideally would have given away some of the speed for more HP or more critical or more attack. But, and of course, I still need to max their drink. But not bad. I'm happy with it. Leandro, I recommend try going to the Discord because they can actually really help you there if you go to the help channel in the Discord. They'll be able to answer your questions a little bit more like in depth because I don't want to say something and not really know the full story from your account. So try to go to the Discord. I'll try to get to it if no one else does in the help channel. Serma is really good for Guild Wars. I don't know. Again, I don't know about the fastest fight. I have not done it in so long because it was pretty easy to do. It's not something you should build for. You know, it's not something you should try to build for. You'll just naturally be able to beat it. Does team of FCC Landy, A Ross, A Momo carry me in PvE arena? Yeah, you could probably do that for everyone. HP or defense? HP just because of Last Rider Crawl. It's annoying, but it's true. The other thing is HP also scales down the later you go into Frenzy. So defense is the way to go. Alright, but let's keep going. Dizzy, I never use her anymore. I don't know what I'm going to do with her. I put her on this because I never actually pick her. I really don't know what to do with her. I might rework her gear. She's just not working for me. I just don't see myself ever drafting Dizzy, like ever, because there's already so much immunity. Last Rider Crawl just absolutely shuts her down, and there's just better options for control, like with F10A, right? I just don't see myself using Dizzy as much. She's still really good for PvE. I don't know. It's just I haven't seen myself using her. I don't see Dizzy almost at all like where she used to be, right? Everyone already has their counters built to Dizzy too, so. Fairy Tail, of course, tanky, a lot of defense. Still need to max Zero Ren out, so I'm able to actually get a little bit more defense, squeeze a little bit more HP, so she doesn't get one shot as easily. But again, it's just a tanky one. I'm just trying to survive and enough effectiveness to be able to hit onto a lot of enemies. Not all, but just enough to like stat check a couple people. Aether, who I sadly had to take some pieces out for Holiday Euphin, but he's fun. Momo, who I never use, she's just on a PvE build in case I decide to use her for PvE. Not for PvP. Again, there's better options than Angelic Momo for cleansing your team because she can only cleanse one ally versus there's people that can cleanse full team against F10 SREs, so she's not seeing as much play. She's still really good as free-to-play option, but it's not the same, which is why I'm on lower gear. Angelica, kind of stripped. Deanne, I'm actually pretty okay with my current Deanne. I dropped some of the Effectress, and I'm trying to get her faster. I do need to like reforge some of these pieces to try to get her a little bit more speed. But I need her to be a little bit faster because she's not faster than my Landy right now. So I have to finish maxing. Like, I mean, this is not even plus 15. But I like how beefy she is. I'm actually really happy with how beefy she is. I'm liking the speed almost is there. It's so close to being like where I want the speed to be. But just not quite there yet. So once I reforge some of these pieces, she'll get like that little extra speed to be faster than my Landy. And she'll be a really nice setup into my Landy. I need a better helmet though. This helmet is trash. So I need a better helmet and everything else just reforged and like finish upgrading this, and I'll be really happy with my Deanne. Hopefully it'll be at 220 speed to just go after my Landy. But right now she's alright. Elena, who I strictly use for arena against those F10 SREs team compositions. Pretty nice speed. Again, I could definitely make work of different locations, right? Like I could reforce this for more speed. When they make the change that I can change substats, I'll probably change this critical hit damage for like defense or something and make her tankier. Because right now she's way too squishy. But it's just, I don't have that much good F-Res gear, but she does her job. So even though she's only at 205, still does her job in arena. That's all I need her to do. Alencia. All right, so now we're starting to get to the spicy stuff. Let me see what you guys are saying just to see some of the stuff that I'm seeing right now. Yeah, just bring a stun frame. You can probably do it. Imagine these are Aether. It's a pretty good time. Do you think it is worth to have crit rate chance and sit damage, FCC, or more HP? Safe, that is completely up to you. I will be talking about FCC in tomorrow's video because she's a banner and people are considering between her and the new unit that's going to be coming out, which is M a little bit. So I want to show you guys the showcase on mine. So you guys will see it, but I think it's up to you and your playstyle. The full HP FCCs are really good for tank teams and for protecting squishy allies. The crit damage ones are really good for booster teams. I personally went with a crit rate one, right? I just like them more. But the HP ones are really annoying too. The Alencia, I know, dude, it's 50-50, but the thing about it, it's like, one, I need to reforge this to get 4%, and I think this one doesn't have crit rate. It's just really hard, dude. It's so hard to get Alencia to 100% crit rate. She'll be at 97% crit rate, sadly. Like, if you see the pieces, you'll be like, dude, what the heck? Like, this is actually like almost perfect gear. It's like perfect substats all the way around. There's literally no place I can give her more crit rate, right? So I need to reforge these pieces. This low roll kind of sucks, but everything else is pretty nice, right? I need to reforge these two pieces, and then I'll be a lot happier with her. I'm missing a lot of health, actually, because of this. So she'll be, like, closer to 21%, 21k. The problem is I need her to be this fast. I actually need this speed. The reason why I need her to be this fast is because I use her more of, like, a setup with a Tywin and Spess than I do as a bruiser. I mean, she's performing really well for me. She deserves a reforge, but I'm just so starved for reforge, dude. I am so starved for reforge pieces. But I'm actually really happy with Alencia. I actually like my Alencia. I know there's better Alencias out there, but for not having any like self imprints, I don't think it's a bad one, right? I'm actually really happy with my Alencia. I think she's like almost perfect. Of course, like if I had this maxed out, if I reforged this, she'd be like way better, and if I had imprints, she'd be like insane. But I've only pulled one. Yuffie, it's just placeholder gear. Charles, I don't know what I want my Charles to be. Right now, I have him on some interesting stuff, interesting build. Maybe I'll reforge him one day. He's not priority. I might reforge him just for fun, and I'm using her as like an attack damage setup. So that's what I was thinking of making my Charles, just an attack damage setup unit. I don't know what I want my Charles to be. I don't know what I want this guy to be. Back in your clear, I actually recently did rebuild. Again, I am cursed with bad speed helmets. This helmet is trash. If I can get like 7 more speed, like 5 more speed on this, that'd be amazing, right? So ideally, I want something that has more speed and more and has effectiveness. So if I can get a helmet that has speed and effectiveness, so I can get my Chloe a little bit faster, that'd be great. Same thing with this neck. Again, it's just too slow. But once I change these two pieces, I'm actually really happy with my F Chloe. If I can get better neck and a better helmet, I can have a really tanky, really annoying back in your Chloe. Yeah, this helmet's trash. This helmet could have like 5 more speed. This could be effectiveness, right? And it could be like a lot better. So she's getting there. She'll get there. And hey, what's up, Naman? How you doing? I'm doing pretty good today, actually. I've been doing pretty good so far. Had a long break this weekend because everything was canceled because of the snow. But yeah, Charles is in a weird spot right now. But yeah, she is almost there. She's almost to the point that I'm really happy with her. It's just getting a better helmet and a better neck. The neck is okay, right? But it's not reforge worthy, right? So if it was a little bit more speed and I could get her to like 260, maybe 265 speed, fucking Chloe, oh man, that's beautiful. That's perfect. That's all I want from her. She'd be like those really annoying tanky ones that just like lap you with like Justice for All. Violet, I don't use anymore. Landy, again, another unit that is waiting for reforge. Only on one, thankfully. I'm not going to be able to get 100% crit rate, sadly, but I will get her decently beefy. So I'll get a little bit more attack, a little bit more critical hit damage, and she's pretty beefy, decently fast, will do damage, won't die right away. I'm actually really happy with my Landy, dude. This Landy, I usually put her on Guiding Light, in case you're wondering, dude, what are you doing with Bloodstone? I usually do have her on Guiding Light. It's just, I have her for PvE as well. So I'll switch between Guiding Light and with, and Bloodstone depending what I'm doing that day. So I've been doing a lot of more PvE than PvP, so I've been using her on Guiding Light. But since I've been doing more PvE recently, I have her on Bloodstone. But yeah, and before you flame, I already know y'all are thinking about flaming. Yes, I do have Guiding Light. I do need to max it out a little bit more. I think I have another. Yeah, I need to get a little bit more. So post Reforge, maybe get more lights. I'll be pretty happy with the Landy. There's very few places where I can even make adjustments to her build. Like, it's pretty good gear, and it's gonna be hard for me to find better gear that gives her tankiness, gives her damage, and gives her like decent speed, so she can actually do something with all the stats. So I'm happy with it for now. Floria or A Ross? Ooh, that's a hard one. I would say Falconeer Clury. For most cases, Falconeer Clury is just insane. Falconeer Clury also is used more in PvE. I use my Falconeer Clury a lot in PvE. So Falconeer Clury overall. Pavel I don't use, even though I know he got his EE recently. Basar, recent addition. Not the greatest, but not the worst either. I have a couple pieces that I do need to reforge. Like, for example, this one is not a terrible piece. So that's why it's so low on the priority list, because I'm waiting to see if I can get something better. If not, then later I'll reforge it. I am waiting for a better neck. This neck is not for him. If this neck was like, if this was HP percentage and this was effectiveness, then that would be pretty good, Basar neck. And then I would reforge it, no question. Same thing with the ring. So I'm still waiting to change these three pieces, which is why they're not reforged. But the other pieces are really good in terms of speed. So ideally, when I get him to like 260 speed, to outspeed by Seria, a little bit more defense and a little bit more health, and then I'm really happy with Basar. But I do use him a lot. I actually really like Basar. I think Basar is Basar's meta right now, and we're gonna get to that discussion in a second. I do think it's becoming Basar's meta. Guider Aether, I don't have a Guider Aether, sadly. Demon. Sadly, I don't have Guider Aether. I have too many other units I've been trying to build. Vivian, strictly for PvE. This is for Asimic Hunt, in case you're wondering why she's on Layla Violin. Rowana, mostly PvE. I need to find a better neck. I just haven't gotten around to it. Once I find a better neck for her that's HP percentage instead of defense, she'll be fine, right? Because this is way too much defense. She does not need that much defense. I just don't have an immunity HP necklace that has the stats I want her to have, right? So ideally, I do want it to be an HP percentage, right? So like, for example, let me see if I actually have one I can give her. I can give her this one, actually. But I have no gold to enhance it. But I might give her this one and give her a lot more HP and a lot more defense, right? She will lose a little bit of speed, but she doesn't need speed, right? So I'll probably do this in the future. I'll give her this one. I think that's why I got this necklace, was strictly for her. So I do need to change it to this necklace to make her those that annoying 20k HP, 2k defense Roanas that just like make your day miserable. So that's why I have her. Wyvern General Perk is nothing crazy there. A Tywin recently got an upgrade. Again, another unit that is waiting for reforges. I have so many units just waiting for reforges. Kind of on a hybrid build. This Ephraim kind of sucks, but the HP and critical hit chance was way too good to pass up. Again, we know that update's coming in the future. I'm going to be able to just change the stats to something I like. You know, that update's so crazy to me. This is going to be defense in the future, right? I can just change this to defense percentage or effectiveness, whatever I decide. Probably going to be defense, because I think he's too squishy right now. But getting this reforge would be really, really nice. And then this ring, again, a lot more effectiveness, a little bit more crit rate, more HP, and just good stats overall, right? So pretty happy with it. Immunity is kind of a must-have on A Tywin, but hopefully get him to 150 effectiveness. Diani or Cerise? Cerise. I would say Cerise for the most point. I think Cerise has a higher ceiling and is better for PvP. If you are an early game player, Saif, I would consider Diani if you haven't cleared a lot of content, because Diani is really good for early game. Cerise is really good for PvP late game, but Cerise also scales really well into some PvE content. So overall, I think Cerise. What do you think of a Rengar's drink, Landy? I think it's interesting and would only work for Cleave. Pinetta. If you have a Cleave Landy, I think it's really good. The other one, the water one, the drink. But alright, Specimen says, before you hate, again, another unit that's waiting on reforges. And also I need to give him this. But I have no gold, as always. My favorite character right now, probably Spes. I'm actually really happy with my Spes build. I'm really proud of the Spes build. I think it's one of the better Spes builds out there. Especially once I'm done reforging him. So once I'm done reforging him, he will get a ton more defense, a little bit more critical hit damage, more critical hit rate. Like a lot more critical hit rate, actually. And more defense, more critical hit damage, more HP, more critical hit rate, more HP, more defense. Like, this is an insane neck for him. So he'll be like a 3k attack, 1.3k defense, 16.5k health, almost 100% crit rate, 225 critical hit damage, Specimen says. And then in the future, when I can reforge the stats to something else, like HP percentage, he's going to be insane, right? So I am super happy with my Specimen Says build. I actually started using him in RTA, and I am so happy I built a team for him. It's so fun playing with Specimen Says. I have to say, he's my funnest unit to play recently. And it's so fun. I am definitely going to make more videos featuring Specimen Says because I think he's just insane. And he's so fun. His skills are so crazy. I do have a couple of imprints on him because I have pulled a couple of Says here and there, right? So if we pull more, he'll get a little bit more damage as well. Another reason addition, what do you play him with? I play him with A Tywin, Alencia, and Fallen Cecilia. Or with, I just basically Alencia, A Tywin. Alencia, A Tywin is like the two big ones. And then Cerise as well. Yeah, Animal Crossing would also be really nasty with him. So let me see some questions. If you have questions about Specimen Says, I've been playing him a lot more recently. Is it worth building him with Malcrosset? Yes, Malcrosset is really good with him. The only problem with Malcrosset is he doesn't provide a stun like A Tywin does. A Tywin and Specimen Says, if you have them speed tune, it's pretty crazy. So if you realize he's 199 speed, my A Tywin is it's gonna be 208, right? So I have them set up so my Specimen Says will never outspeed my A Tywin, and will always follow up with an S3 right after A Tywin. Do y'all see that? It's pretty crazy. It's supposed to get to Masters in 2 weeks as a beginner in RTA. When you say beginner, yes, maybe. I would say maybe. I would have to see your account. You'd be surprised how far you can actually get in RTA with like a couple of units, right? You only need like 5 really well built units and like a couple of counter picks, and you're set for the most part in RTA. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with him. I think Moonlight Dreamblade is the best one because it gives him survivability and it also gives him the potential to get an attack buff. Some other ones are like RNL if you want like cheese strats with Specimen Says. Because with RNL you can proc S2 into an S3, which is really nasty. You can also do things like Violet Tasman, although it's a little bit hard to stack up. You can do things like Wind Rider if you're doing the damage one. So I'm actually really happy with him. And then, yes, I finally got T-Surin. I know y'all are about to hate. I am missing a lot of crit rate from this piece. But I am going to be relying a lot on Alexa's Basket. So, kind of sucks that it has to be that way. It's going to be 94% crit once I finish reforging these two pieces. Just this piece in particular. The attack should get pretty close to 3,400 attack. It's going to be an average T-Surin. But it's going to be pretty nice. How much energy? I mean, just use all the energy you got, dude. Like, every day, you get 100 energy from the event. No, you get 200 energy. You get 200 energy from the event. You get 100 energy from every day. Smiley just gives you 100 energy from, like, for no reason. Like this is just for no reason they gave you this. So that's 300 energy. You can watch ads for another 100 energy. So that's 400 energy. And throughout the day, you can get 200 energy naturally. So that's 600 energy every single day as free to play without using a single leaf, right? 600 energy, unless you're actively trying to grind for a unit, you should spend all that energy on hunts. So unless you're like building a unit, you should spend all that energy on hunts. I usually focus on one thing at a time so I don't get overwhelmed. So I typically will focus, okay, I need gearing, let me just focus on hunts. And then on units, I'll only build them if I have a lot of units I need to build. Like with T-Sur and FCC, I did have to do that. But it's just as you need basis. But you should be using that 600 energy for hunts, which gives you about, I think that does give you about, it gives you quite a bit of it gives you almost 20 runs for free. So almost 20 hunts for free, which is pretty good without using lease. That's good enough for the day, right? Just 20 hunts a day will get you pretty far. And then of course, save some leaves for like the events and stuff like that. And you also have the lease for overall. As far as the other units, Watcher Shuri, he's not there. Sage Ball, I do want to rework him. I want to make him tankier. I almost want to change the neck because right now I don't like how much attack percentage this went into. I want him to be more HP based. I wish this was like more HP. And like there's other places where I'm like, I wish he had more HP. Some of the pieces are really good on him, But some of the other pieces are like this. It shouldn't have effect risk, right? But again, in the future, there's gonna be HP for me, dude. That is so crazy to me. That's why I'm kind of excited about the gear change. Cause you see gear like this, I can now make this FRS piece. This is HP percentage, so that'll be like 12% HP, like 12, 14% HP percentage, with the new gear changes. That's pretty lit. That's pretty sick. That's nice. I mean, I am definitely benefiting from it, but I still don't think it's the greatest thing in the world. But I am excited. I definitely have stuff I want to use on, right? Imagine if this was HP, right? This piece becomes insane, right? If this was defense, I could change this to defense percentage, way tankier. This is actually like, you can't do anything with this one. And with this, flat HP instead of attack or defense percentage. I could have a dummy tanky. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, oh man, we talked about this last stream, Ink and Meme. I'm not super happy for certain things, but for like 99% of the community, it's good. But for people that are trying to push the legend, it's not. You realize how many stats I am missing on this Sage Ball? Like, this Sage Ball is going to be like almost, it's going to be 20k HP, like 1.6, 1.7k defense. That's insane. Dude, he's going to be so insane. I could change this to flat health as well, right? Get like an extra 5. Dude, oh man, my Sage Ball is going to be insane after the rework comes out. That's crazy. Yeah, it's going to be pretty crazy. I think the gap between like legend and high champion is going to increase with the new change. But like, look at like, you realize it's like, oh man, I definitely have units that are going to be insane. Ruel, primarily for Guild Wars. I don't see much. I occasionally pick her for RTA as like a last pick. And she does work as a last pick. I also love the face that she makes. Hey, Ravi, I'm actually really happy with this build. I think this is the best build I've come up with yet. I do have to reforce this. It sucked that it low rolled because I'm not going to be able to get 100% crit rate. But if this hadn't roll rolled, I'd be able to have 100% crit rate. She'll have a little bit more HP once I reforge the helmet. A lot of more HP, actually. Almost 22k HP. And like a little bit more defense. She's going to be pretty nasty, dude. I'm actually really happy with her current build. She does pretty good. FCC, this is the one that probably everyone's wondering. FRS is probably going to be the one that mostly gets dropped, yeah. FRS and like for some units getting effectiveness and dropping attack. There's certain units that like for supports will get faster too. But this is my Fawn Cecilia. Again, missing reforges. Not super happy about the helmet, so this one's not going to be a priority. Same with the ring, which is why I'm taking so long to reforge this. Because the crit rate's a little bit too low. Ideally, I want to get it to 85% crit rate, but I'm really happy with the speed. I'm okay with the HP and the defense, and then the critical damage delivered on the slow side. But, I mean, she's doing amazing. It's a subpar FCC, and she's doing amazing. She's like bare minimum decent FCC. She'll get the job done for you, but it's so insane how good this unit is, dude. She has become my favorite unit. The second I got her, I built her, and I've been using her, and I'm just like, this game is so much easier with this unit. Everything is just easier with this unit. She's insane. I highly suggest you pull for her. Ed Collie, one of the units I'm proudest of. Really hard to change anything. Again, this will be critical hit damage after the change, of course. This is like pretty okay. I might get her more speed in the future, but it's so much attack that she gets from these two. And she does her job as a popper. This will most likely be, I don't know actually. Maybe effectiveness? The health is fine because sometimes she does get hit. This ring will definitely be changing the effectiveness for critical hit damage. So she'll have a lot more critical hit damage. Again, this is like pretty hard to justify changing anything. And this, I'll probably change the health for something like critical hit damage. Again, there's so many pieces I can just... She's going to have so much more critical hit damage. She's going to be a really strong Akali once the new changes come out. Like a pop Akali, right? 85% of the substat. So you lose 15% MP Neta, pretty much. From the max stat. That's the thing though. It's from the max stat. So this effectiveness roll was not a high roll. So I might actually get a 1-to-1 conversion for critical hit damage. Because the maximum you can technically get is 16% plus Reforge is like 19. So you can get like 15, 16. So I actually might get 15, 16 critical hit damage here. I might get this one actually was a high roll. So this one will probably go down to like, again, 14 maybe, 12, 14 critical hit damage, but that's still insane. You realize how many stats you can get, dude. I don't want to think about it too much. I'm super excited for it, but it's kind of scary to think about. Like my Akali will have like over 30% critical hit damage. Oh, wait. My bad. That's not... Yeah, you're right. I'll change this to flat attack. You're right. You're right. I'm stupid. I'll change this to flat attack. I forgot this critical hit damage neck. I'll probably change this to flat attack. The health or the effectiveness. I don't know which one would be better, actually. And then for this one, I will definitely change that effectiveness to critical hit damage. And the boots are perfect. This is pretty perfect. And like this is also critical hit damage. So I'm basically missing like 20% critical hit damage that I could be getting. So that's crazy. That's crazy. BBK, I still don't know what I want to do with her. I really don't. I want her to be a bruiser, but I don't know how to do it properly. So she's kind of sitting there. Revenant Violent, recently going through some changes. Hopefully this does not roll into critical hit chance. Hopefully it rolls into HP, critical hit damage, or defense. He's alright. I mean, hopefully this rolls into defense, and then I have a pretty good defensive Rylet. Nothing crazy, just average. Seedom I don't use. Champ C, counter Champ C is the way. Still waiting on a Reforge. Spectene, pretty good, but there's people that have way better ones. So like again, this one it's more critical hit damage that I'm missing. This one's like pretty much perfect. This one's pretty much perfect. It's just not red. That's the only difference, is I don't have red gear and I don't have her own immunity. So Beal, in the stream it said it's any plus 15. Beal. So there should be you should be able to do 88 equipment. They didn't show an example of it, but they said in the stream it's any plus 15 piece of gear. It did not say it had to be Reforged. It did not say it had to be anything else. So it should be, you should be able to make raid swords insane, right? Raid swords are like this. Raid sword is gonna be insane offensive raid sword. So Tamara Luluka, she's too slow. It makes me sad that she's this slow. It's too slow. That's the only thing. But she does her job. I mean, she's a good counter pick on my side. I do like picking her against slower teams. And she does a pretty good job against them. Whenever they have a slow team, I do like taking her there, because I'm able to just come in, take out her unit, and then they can't do anything about her. Emil Haste really needs some work on the ring. The ring is really bad. But, I mean, I barely use him. I only use him to counter... the only thing I would want is more speed and more HP. Everything else is fine. And then I think that's pretty much it. Oh! In the future, I'll get Operator Cigarette up and running. So that's the next. This is my next project. Is gonna be Operator Cigarette. But yeah, not bad, right? The big ones is gonna be Alencia, Specimen Cess, the A Tywin changes, and some other stuff. So a lot of units. Not a lot of PvE units. If you see, I don't have a lot of PvE units, but I do need to build some. I'm working on Curious right now to clear some Abyss stages. I'm working on lots to be able to clear the Water Expedition and some other stuff. Oh yeah, it's so good. It's so good. Am I pulling? I am gonna try, but I'm not gonna be able to pity, and I'm not gonna try to spend for pity, right? So all right, we have 12 minutes left for arena. Let's see how far we can get, and then we'll do the next part of the discussion, which is the sleeper unit. But does that count? It's not bad, right? It's very PvP centered. Oh man, we lost a lot, didn't we? No, we didn't. We only lost one. I do want to try to get to champion 1. I don't think I can get legend in this time. But it's pretty good. I don't want to spend $400 for Emma Lilibit. I don't think Emma Lilibit is like that. I already spent $200 for FCC. I am a Dolphin. This is a Dolphin account. This is kind of what you can expect from a 2-year Dolphin player account. But this should be pretty straightforward against this team. But yeah, I'm not super proud of it that I had to spend for Fallen Cecilia, but I do not regret anything at all. Okay, let's also, can y'all hear the music? But yeah, that's the account. I should be able to read a lot more. I just wanted to get through the account review so you guys could see where I am right now. But yeah, pretty nasty. Dang, dude, I had to pity for the 200, so pretty sad about that. Also, yeah, if you guys, this is the team I showed in the video today. I can just literally put this. Can y'all hear it now? It was off. Y'all should be able to hear it now, unless it's for some reason still not working. Alright. Sorry, I was just checking the music. But yeah, a lot of my units are looking pretty nice. Y'all should be able, it's probably pretty quiet, the music. Yeah, it's really quiet. I mean, it's not supposed to be like overbearing to you guys. It should just be enough that you guys can hear it. But yeah, this team is an auto team. Like, I don't even have to watch this. I can just read the chat while this fight goes on. And this is not gonna kill, of course. Wow, look at that symbol of unity. Guesses in 3 weeks. Alright, sorry I got distracted. I was just looking, I got too distracted looking at the screen. I'm pretty sure they'll be fine. They don't need me to man it. Oh yeah, so for the tourney. Alright, so some boring updates, or not boring, but before we get to the sleeper unit discussion, right? Because this one's gonna be a big one, and I am gonna be reading chat for this discussion after the arena closes. Because I do want to have this conversation with you guys, and I want to see you guys' thoughts, and hopefully you guys can learn something. It can be more of a conversational style, unlike the account review. But as far as some channel updates before we actually get to that, the tournament, I got way busier than I thought in January, right? Like, a lot of stuff just came crashing down, and I've been a lot busier with school and stuff like that, which is why I have not been able to host a tournament. Just like got really busy for me, so I haven't been able to actually host the tournaments before. The other thing is it's that it's getting harder for me to make the different brackets because everyone's at different levels now. So it's going to be a lot harder for me to do that. I know there's a lot of people that are interested in that and are waiting for me to like be like, hey, it's coming up now and stuff like that. But overall, it will be coming. It will be there. It will get there. It's just I'm looking far in the future to see when my weekends will clear up. And it's not going to clear up for a while again. So I do apologize if y'all are missing out on the tournaments. I know I wanted to do more. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough sometimes. But I do want to do it soon. So hopefully in March, for sure. And I say that, and it's probably not going to happen on March. But I will definitely try a lot harder. I also do have a paper coming up. That's pretty big, which is another reason why I haven't been doing as much stuff. And why I canceled Tuesday streams was because I'm actually working on a paper that is really, really intensive. So that's the big reason. So that's some account update stuff. Other thing, this is a little bit more exciting. The art competition I do want to do. That one I do want to do. I just don't think it'll be a channel banner. I think I'm just going to make it an art competition. Thank you for reminding me. I actually can do that one in March, for sure. So if nothing, March, for sure, art competition. March to April. And we'll do a summer event one. We'll do a summer-based one. So it'll be fun. The other thing, what is it? We're almost at 4K subs. So if you're enjoying the video and you like the channel, make sure you sub. 4K subs, I don't know what I'm going to do. What would you guys like to see for 4K subs? What do you guys want to see? I know I was supposed to do a Cerise full guide, but like everyone, I don't know. Cerise is hard. Cerise is a hard unit to do a full unit guide on. I still can. It's hard for me to get clips of a cleave one. Also, I am supposed to be doing arena. But yeah, what do you guys want to see for 4K subs? One thing that someone mentioned is that I don't have a single unit in this account that is not built for PvP and that is not competitive. So something I was thinking about is maybe after I do my PvE content that I need to do, maybe I'll make it so you guys get to pick my next 6-star that I'll try to work out in RTA. Similar to kind of how I built Robbie before she was meta. Maybe like we can try like Tenebria. Maybe we can try something like a Mort or a Ken or a Cowrick. I really hope you guys say Cowrick because I really do want to build him. But I don't know. I don't know what to do for 4K subs. But we're right there. Let's try to get there. But we're almost right there, dude. We're so close. Also, I need to beat this defense if I want to keep champion 1. But I don't know what I want to bring against it. They always go for the fastest. So this I said would beat up my Elena. I definitely can't take this team. So honestly, I might just take this team. Let's just take this team. It'll be a slow, but I mean they're not gonna kill anything anytime soon. So the Great Mortilix. Oh my goodness. Aether cosplay is at 10K. I will stand by that statement. Aether cosplay at 10K subs. I will get the wig. I'll get a blue dress, and I'll be hyped. But oh, what the heck? Why is that an RNL ACID? That is so weird. That is a really weird ACID. Interesting. What's whose health? You have to tell me whose health. What? Oh, Elena, it's only 14K. She's really squishy. I mean, but Blue dress, yeah. I mean, that's what Aether wears, is a blue dress, right? And a blonde wig. It's not hard to cosplay Aether, honestly. Let's be real. It's not hard. Bleach eyes at 10k, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Just get to 10k and you'll see. 4k, I think I'll do a fun unit. Yeah, I mean, yes, she's too squishy. My Elena's just there to counter Cerise. That's the only reason I ever use Elena. Oh my god, she really resisted that? You're really gonna resist that, huh? Well, let me just get rid of this. We're just gonna have to deal with Artsy and Mercedes later on. But at least let's take Acid out of the equation. Oh, wow, she actually hit my A-Tai win. She's gonna go on the aim arrow, so like it doesn't matter. Yeah, that sucks. Hopefully we can outspeed here. Stun? Dude, is this a high F-res aim arrow or are we just unlucky? Alright, let's force the S3 on herself. I don't want to hit the Artsy or Mercedes yet because she's gonna just pop off. Dude, I think this is a high F-res Artsy or Mercedes. Stun? Nice. Nice! Good job, Specimen says. Good job! Mess him up real quick. Alright, there we go. That's GG now. I can just auto. I can just auto now and let's start going on this this Rowana. What's that? Wait. Let me read what you guys are saying. I'm sorry I got caught up. Arena's almost over, and I promise I'm gonna be paying more attention to the chat afterwards. All right, who do I want to go on? I think Roana's the only. I don't think we're gonna land a stun on Rowana though. Yeah, this is probably a high Afres Royal and high Afres Rowana. This is gonna take, dude, if I get soloed by these two, I'm gonna be really sad, actually. I shouldn't be switching targets so much, but I just want to waste the Royal stuff. Okay, so she can actually get stunned. That's all I needed to see. I have not heard any of the Japanese voices, so I have no clue. I wouldn't know if what the Japanese voices are. Dude, I really might get soloed by these two. Holy. This sucks, dude. I keep dual attacking, dude. All right, let's start doing a little bit more damage. Yeah, I mean, Legend's fun. Dude, I have 2 minutes to finish this fight. This defense did its job. It stalled me out for 3 million years. So this guy's doing his job for defense. Alright, we landed the speed debuffs, which are also kind of nice. I think we can kill Ruel this rotation. Maybe. Let's just pop the S3 just so we don't have it anymore. So we don't counterattack and keep healing with the Rowana. Holy, I actually think I healed her, dude. I actually don't think I'm gonna finish this fight before arena closes. Feels bad, dude. I want it to be a guaranteed champion one. But unless we land this yep, resisted. I'm gonna cry, bro. Ah, this team is so toxic, dude. It's probably because I didn't cleave it. That's the only problem. I should have just cleaved this team. I don't know why I didn't. They didn't. It's just because the Ace Sid was there and I got worried. Okay, this Rona wasn't even high F-res, bro. Oh, that makes me even more mad, actually. Because we already used the S3. Because I thought it was a high F-res Rona, so I was like, there's no way they, And she's gonna S2 her. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god, I'm actually emo, dude. Yeah, we're not gonna. She's gonna S2 her. Rona's gonna S3. I think Rona has S3 again. I hate myself, dude. I hate myself. I know I win this. It's just, it's like, it's already 11. We already lost this one, so like, I don't know if it counts as a loss or a win if you don't finish the fight. I really should not have used that Specimen Says S3. That's actually going to haunt me for life, dude. Because we could have killed her already. We could have killed her right here. I'm pretty emo, dude. It's a loss? That's a feels bad, dude. That's a feels bad. Well, it's already 11, so I'm just going to yield. It's already past the time. Yeah, okay. So it does count as a loss. Let me just yield then. Yeah. So, feels bad. I should have just put bait for the A Sid and then just cleaved it. I should just put like I should just put my A Kali, put my Basar, and then just put like my Tomoka and then just let my A Kali die. Maybe outspeed, you know, just let my A Kali die, Basar it, or just like Tywin it or something, and then just cleave it. That's what I should have done. But okay, that's the arena part. So now let's get to the last point of discussion. Well, actually, we still have 2. Wow, I'm really behind tonight. So first, let's talk about potential buffs. Alright, so now we get to the juicy stuff. So perk up, let me drink my water, because we're about to get into some long discussions. It's gonna be a good time. So let me drink my water, because we're about to get some long discussions. Let me take that big sip. And let's get to it. So let me take that big sip. I mean, that is true. I wasn't shooting for legend because it's not like I am going for the frame this next season. I actually think I have the units to climb in arena now to get legend in arena to actually get a frame. So I'll actually be able to have an arena frame. So next arena season, catch me in legend. I'll definitely be hitting legend consistently. So these streams will be a lot more arena. But alright, I got my sip. Let's get into the unit buffs, right? So typically, the way that it works is that they alternate every 4 months, every 4 months or every 2, I forgot how many months, but I think it's every 2 months or so actually. No, it's every 4 months. There's a certain amount of time between buffs and EEs. Usually after an EE is revealed, there's 2 months before the buffs are revealed. I think it is every 4 months. So we should be getting buffs very, very soon. Right, we should be getting them announced when RTA ends, which should be somewhere in March, which is in the next 3 weeks, right? I don't think Arena is going to go more than 3 weeks. If it does, Legend's going to get to like 5 million, right? Because people are just pushing Legend and RTA like crazy. But they usually do a buff patch right when the season ends. That's typically, it's pretty standard for them at this point. So they will definitely be doing a buff after the RTA season ends. So we'll get the RTA season end, they'll announce the buffs, and then the 2 weeks after RTA season ends, they'll give the buffs in the preseason. So it doesn't shake up the meta too much, and then they'll do one right in the middle of the season. It's a balancing act, right? So we should be getting, in the next 4 weeks, we should be getting announcements of the buffs, like who's going to get buffed. So for buffs, typically what they try to do with the buffs is bring a unit into relevance or tweak some units to be OP, right? So like with Cerise didn't need that, right? She only need, like the S3 hitting all units, that's all she needed, but they overbuffed her. So buffs are a very big deal because we always get game-changing units typically with the buffs. Like Landy, insane. Cerise, really good. Sage Ball, really good. All these units, really, really strong after the buff. So getting a buff is a big deal because you're typically going to be a pretty good unit. There's also units like Haste that are doing nothing, right? So it can also be a flop, like with Haste, but for the most part, they're pretty good. So there's usually always like one ML hero. I don't think they haven't done 2 ML heroes recently. They always just do 1 ML hero. No, they do 2, did they? Sage Ball wasn't the last one. And I think Briar Witch was as well. So they do like 1 or 2 ML heroes. They do like 2 or 3 5-stars, and then they'll sometimes do like 1 or 2 4-stars, right? Yeah, they did ML Basar, and I think they did Briar Witch Iceria as well. Or was that different patches? Oh, it was OQC and Sage Ball. So yeah, okay. It was Briar Witch and Spez. So it's usually 2 ML heroes, like 2 or 3 5-stars, usually 3 5-stars, and then like 2 or 3 4-stars. So it's a pretty good number, right? But the units that need it, let's go with units that need it and units that would be nice to get buffs, right? So let's go in that order. The other thing is that it has to be units that aren't going to be fixed with an EE. Because there's units that get an EE, they're OP, right? So for example, Kise is really good right now. She's still a good unit. But in the future, if she were to get outscaled, she would not need a buff. She would just need an EE because her kit's already cohesive, right? She doesn't need a buff to her kit. Her kit's already fine. She already got a buff in the past. Her kit's cohesive. She would just need an EE if she ever fell off meta, right? So a lot of units are in the EE category. Some are in the buff. Units that need buffs, Yufine is kind of not doing anything right now. I don't think there's any content where there's not just a better option that you would pick over Yufine. Some people are playing around for fun with counter Yufine, right? Counter Yufine is something that people do for fun, right? So that's the only place that I've seen people use her for PvP, just for counter set for fun. But I don't see her like meta relevant. I don't see her doing anything in PvE. Like all the Yufine one-shot teams, it's like, why use her when you can use Baiken? Or literally the mouse, who's less investment, or Valen, or all these other units, right? So Yufine really needs an EE, or not an EE, she needs a buff. She already has an EE, right? So I could definitely see them giving them a buff to someone like Yufine, because she's not anywhere, right? She's not seeing almost any play, and the EE was not enough to fix some of the problems that she had, right? So she may need a buff. I don't know how, that's the thing, to make her, give her a unique capability. Maybe make her good for the water expedition. That would be pretty cool, right? Like make her really good for water expedition. Maybe by like allowing her to CR push or something. I don't know. Yeah, so like she doesn't see that much play. So maybe if they want to make her PvE or make her PvP. So she definitely needs a little bit of love. The other one is going to be Ludwig, which I do see in the comments. Ludwig is in such a bad spot right now. He was seeing fringe use in cleave teams for people that had a bunch of stuff. But I think he needs more of an EE buff than a kit buff. I don't think adding anything to his kit is going to make him better. So he's more of the EE. So let's not talk about him. I think he's more of an EE buff. Same with Violet. I think they're more of an EE buff. I think both of these could get really good with just an EE. Because they're just missing stats, right? And like a couple more effects. Like one more effect. I don't think they need a full-on buff. There's not a lot of regular 5-stars that are like in big need of buff. Sino is one that I would really like to see buff. Because he looks really cool and he'd fit really well with like Bruiser teams, right? Because he's like a Bruiser control unit. And you guys know I love Bruiser control, right? So I'm talking about RGB heroes, not ML heroes. We'll get to ML heroes in a second. RGB 5-stars. Sino would be really cool to see him get buffed. I think he has so much potential in his kit. Because like with this passive is so unique, right? Non-attack skill, you get defense and you get more damage and you can stack it. What I would like to see is the lane D treatment. Where make this so it really is more punishing and stacks up faster, right? I would really like to see that to make him actually a counter to those teams that rely on self-buffing, right? There's not a lot of units, but it will at least give him a niche to make him kind of unique, right? Make the stack faster. That would be really cool. Really, really cool. The S3, summons Ancient Beast, attacks everyone, silences for one turn and bleeding. If they wanted to buff this and they wanted to make him a strong unit, giving him a strip would be really, really crazy. It would actually make him so good if he got a strip and got these to be more consistent. Because right now the silence, I think it's only 80%. Right? So if they made this strip, it would be so freaking amazing. Or if they made it more consistent. I will say either or. So that is actually really, really cool. So there's so many places we can buff him. The S1 too, like make it like higher chance to stun. Maybe make it so he can proc the S2, kind of like his counterpart. Or make him hit 2 targets. This only hits 1 target. Making this hit 2 targets would also be really cool, right? So there's a lot of places that could actually buff Sino and actually make him really, really spicy, right? Because he's such a unique mage, right? He's kind of like a Bruiser mage that also has speed. So like it'd be really, really cool for control teams. I mean, I'm a control person, so I'm a big guy for control Bruiser, right? All the other units are actually pretty good right now. Lilibet, I still think she needs more love. She's just so niche. Most of these most of these buffs are EEs. There's not really a lot of units that are like in big need of buff that are RGB. Most of them are actually doing pretty good in the meta. There's not a lot that I'm just like, I see it and I'm like, okay, this guy needs a buff, right? Most of these you can actually use in a lot of content. So overall, pretty good. Like the balance is actually not bad. Like they have their niche. Not every unit has to be PvP competitive. That's the thing. You guys have to realize that not every unit needs to be OP in PvP. Haste buff, as much as we hate haste buff, technically it is gonna be good for Earth Expedition and it's going to be good for Golem. Earth Expedition hasn't come back in some time, but when it does, haste will be in the forefront, right? It sucks he can't be an OP PvP unit, but he's not. He's a pretty decent PvE unit, right? He's like, okay. It just sucks that Golem sucks. It's not his fault that Golem sucks. If they ever buffed Golem like to drop better stuff, Haste would come back. But he's fine. Same thing with Balance Hassan. He's actually pretty good for PvE. He's actually pretty spicy. It just sucks that fire units don't have any competitive content for PvE. That's what sucks, right? But you can definitely use Balance Hassan for PvE. Right? He has pretty good PvE kit. He actually has an amazing PvE kit. Right? He has like amazing debuffs on the S3. He has like an S2 that actually does decent damage. And this attacks two targets. If anything, if they up the chance to land the poisons, he'd be like insane. Because it hits 2 targets, which is super nice. So, again, not every unit needs to be PvP. Most units are actually in a pretty decent spot right now. Right? With the exception of Ludwig, Eufiend, they don't have an identity right now. Everyone else, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's no unit I see here that doesn't have their niche filled. That's RGB. Alpha, like, besides Sino, Ludwig, and Yuffie. Oh, Cess, yeah, I forgot about him. Thank you. That's the only other one I could see. Cess is like pretty much like kind of similar to Ludwig. I still think he's also similar to Ludwig, where an EE can kind of just fixes him. Just like a small stat boost, because this S3 has so much potential. But maybe if they gave him like a oh, that's hard, because his stats are really good actually. Maybe like, I don't know, dude. I just think he needs like one more effect. I think an EE could potentially fix him in the future. I just think they're scared of doing anything with Cess. It's really sad because I used to use Cess all the time. Like, looking at this page really brings me back because he was my first 5-star. So he has a soft spot for me, dude. But he needs either a buff or like he needs a EE, I think. He already has really good crit rate, so like maybe more attack so his bomb does more damage. Like, that'd be pretty crazy. And then the EE can just make this trigger a lot easier. Oh, yeah, I actually did buy the Epic 7 Arise game. The Avenger. It's pretty cool. I don't have the Cess skin because I actually like his base skin more than the other one. Oh, yeah, Aramintia. That's another one. Yeah. She's just trash. She's probably the one that needs the buffs the most. You guys realize Aramintia has gotten buffed 2 times. For sure. I think maybe even 3. She's been in 2 buff patches. So yeah, you're right. Aramintia really does need an upgrade. I'm glad I saw that. She's probably another one that really needs a buff. Her whole kit's just trash. Like, she's just trash. She's just a hashtag from, like, a hash from all these other units. She needs a Charlotte treatment. Like, y'all know Charlotte? Charlotte got a whole kit rework, right? She's the only unit I can say that got that. And Corvus. Charlotte and Corvus got whole kit reworks, right? For the 5-star. Melissa's actually, she fits a niche. Melissa's actually okay. But it's, yeah. She's just like, she needs a whole kit rework. I think they should double down on the burn passive. Because, like, her stats are actually kind of atrocious, too. Yeah, like, her stats are disgusting. She's a control mage that can't control. Like, her stun, trash. This is literally just, Amal Armentia's S3, but worse. Right? Because it's like, not even 100. It's 100% chance for burn and 50% chance to stun. Yeah, it's really broken that this ignores effect resistance, but it's a 50-50, dude. Charlotte's old kit was really weird. She used to not do as much AoE. But Melissa's not bad. Melissa's fine. I was saying RGB, but she's such a cool looking unit. I always wanted to pull her, but never did because, like, her kit's just trash. Like, this doesn't make any sense why she has this. They would need to make this kill. The thing they could do to fix her. Alright, hear me out. This is what I think they should do to fix her. Make this skill give her an extra turn. She could be a lot more viable. She could be a lot more viable if this skill gave her an extra turn. Ken is more of an EE. I'm talking about buffs. So I talked about it at the beginning. There's a difference between buffs and EE. EE units are units that are basically right there, that can get buffed, that don't need a buff. They just legit need a tweak, right? Like a stat boost and one change to their stats and they're perfect, right? Like, units are already cohesive kit. Aramintia, Eufiend, Sino, Says to an extent, those kids are not cohesive. They don't make any sense. An EE, a stab boost, and a small change is not going to make it. They need like a whole overhaul. Like all their skills need buffs. All their things need extra things. Like for this, extra turn would make her so much more viable. So much more viable. And make this, that's it. Honestly, just the extra turn here. Give this S3, like IR has a 100% burn chance. I think the stun fight is fine. But if this legit just gave an extra turn, she'd already be so good. She'd be amazing. She'd be so freaking good. Melissa shockingly does her job. Like I played with Melissa Cleave. She actually is a pretty nice Cleave unit. Right? And she doesn't need a buff. Her kit is super cohesive. Her kit is like insanely cohesive. Melissa is completely fine in terms of kit. Like all her kit works fine. If anything, an EE would be nice. But like, she's just a Cleave unit. I mean, and I used her for a while and she was pretty spicy. I enjoyed her. She's hard to build, but I enjoyed her. Oh yeah, that's the last one, Mort. I mean, she's a Cleave unit, TJ. She's not supposed to be a bruiser. She's supposed to take turn 1. She's not supposed to survive. She's not supposed to survive if they outspeed you. That's a thing. She needs to take that turn 1. Mortalex is probably one of the units that needs a buff. We're finding more. We're finding more units. I think Mortalex needs a buff. So let me put a notepad with my final thoughts now that we've like been talking about some of these. Who I really think needs a buff, and I think they will do. Mort needs a buff. I don't think an EE would fix him. He has way too many inconsistencies in his kit. He has so much potential. But the problem is that this skill is just such low chance. This needs to be 100%. I don't understand why this isn't just like closer to 100%, if not 100%. I don't know why they're so scared of this skill. I don't know why they're so scared of buffing this skill. I really don't. Because the thing about it, it's like, it's already hard to proc this skill. You're already having to wait till like, you have to wait for Elris to proc, then you have to pray that it does. And even if it does, it's only once every 2 turns. And it's not like the buffs are insane. Like these buffs aren't like game breaking. Like, oh, one turn critical hit reduction. I'm so scared of this. This makes no sense, dude. Why is this only 45% chance? This should be 100% chance. There's no reason this should only be 45% chance. There's no reason this should just be 100%. The buffs are not that good. That's the thing you have to realize. This makes no sense. Like, okay, these restrictions are very strict. 45% chance. Only once every 2 turns. But what are you even getting out of it? A speed buff that some units get it for free, right? Units get this speed buff for free. Critical hit resistance AoE. Okay, cool. It's for 1 turn. Danny does this for 3 turns. Easy peasy. It's just, why is the skill so bad? The S1, perfect. This skill, beautiful. If they give it extra chance to land, oh, it'd be insane. This S1 is perfect. This S3, oh man, this S3 is amazing. This S3 is great. It's actually a really good S3. Like, it's a solid S3. I really, really like it. I think it's good. It's just this S2 is trash. Why is it so trash? Why is it so terrible? Right? I would like to see them do more with this rage passive too. I would like to see this rage passive maybe give him like a higher chance to decrease defense or something. I don't know, dude. I would like to see more with this rage passive. Like maybe more interactions with this rage passive. Like maybe if he has rage, this skill does something more. Maybe gives attack buff to himself or something. I don't know, dude. The S2 needs a huge buff, dude. Like you need a huge buff with this. You need it. He needs it. If he had 100% on this, yeah, he'd be really good. He'd be decent. If this was 100%, he wouldn't even be broken. That's the thing. That's the funny part out of all of this. This could be 100% chance. He wouldn't be broken. He'd be okay. Bro, why you want to leave more where he is? He's struggling, bro. This guy's struggling. This guy's not doing anything. He's just chilling, TJ. He's just chilling. He's not doing anything. He sucks. It's so sad. Maybe the meta will shift to where he sees more play. He does get OP artifacts, but like the rest of his kit is so incohesive. See, like this is what I'm talking about. When I talk about buffs, I'm talking about heroes that their kits just don't function properly, right? Like, or like they don't have a place in any meta or PvE or PvP, right? Also, y'all tell me y'all can even hear the music, so it's not that big of a deal. So let me go back to the beginning. But yeah, that's what I mean when I'm talking about buffs. I mean stuff that units that the kit just doesn't work, right? So let me rank them, right? Units that I think need buffs. This is for units for buffs. Let's do the RGB 5 stars first, right? So first, let's do RGB 5 stars. RGB 5 stars, I think the ones that need it the most are going to be Mort, Araminthia, because she's complete garbage. Cess, Cess or Yuffie? I think Cess. These are probably the ones that need it the most. These are probably arguably the ones that need it the most. Oh, Sino. I think Sino needs it more than Cess. And Cess. These need it the most. For the could use, Yuffie could use one. Ludwig could use one, but I think more of EE would be better for him. Elfelt is alright. She definitely could use a buff, right, to be more viable. Those are like the big ones, but Flant's fine. Flint has a niche. That's the thing. Says I think just needs an EE. That's the thing. Why it's hard to put him here. So yeah, let's put him down here. I think these need the most, and then these ones are like an EE could probably fix them, but it'd be nice if they got a buff. Would be these. But these are the ones that really need a buff, and I really hope to see Sino and Mort, or one of these. I really think one of these will pop up. I could see one of these popping up. The ones that if Smilegate just wanted to make a unit broken for no reason, they would buff someone like Holiday Yuffie. If they really just wanted to make a unit OP for no reason, they could buff her. They wanted to make a unit OP for no reason, they'd buff Iseria, even though Iseria is insane for PvE. I think Lilibet to an extent too needs a buff. If they wanted to make a unit OP for no reason, they could buff someone like... Ken already got a buff. Ken's already fine, actually. Who could they buff that's already like pretty good? It's just not... They could buff Charlotte, even though Charlotte's already pretty good. Ervalin's fine too. Like they do the stuff. Luna and Ervalin all like. Here's the thing. Again, not every unit needs to be good for PvP and PvE. Luna is actually a really good PvE unit. She's actually fine as a PvE unit and can be used for fun in PvP. I know you guys are going to hate me for saying this, but I don't think she needs a buff. She's completely fine the way she is. She does her job in Fire Expedition. She can work for Wyvern 13 for fun. She can work in Guild Wars if you want her to work for Guild Wars. She can work in RTA if you want her to work for RTA. She works really well in Labyrinth as a single target DPS. I mean, she's just fine. She is the worst. No, you can't say the worst limited because Alpha exists. Alpha is the worst limited. We all have to... We may not agree on Luna. You may want her to get a buff because she's definitely not the strongest limited. But we all know this is the worst limited. By far. It's her. She's arguably the worst one. Man, but why do you want her to be... Like, I mean, yeah. Okay. If you wanted to talk about units that could get a buff just for the sake of being OP, they could make Luna really OP. You know how they can make Luna broken if they buffed her? Remove the restriction on this. Or make it high, like make it so you don't lose the critical hit rate. You realize if she got that, if she got this buff where like this doesn't have the, like when she drops below 50, she doesn't drop critical hit rate, she'd be broken. That's all she needs. And like more reliable S1s, she'd be insane. She'd actually be one of the most broken units. Like she'd be an insane bruiser in the game. If they buffed the S1 and removed the restriction on this S2, she would actually be a really good unit. Like she would actually be like one of the best units in the game. For bruisers. Not like in the game as in like everything, but as a bruiser she'd be really good. But I mean they could, right? They could do that. She'd be a unit that she doesn't need it, right? So it's like these are the ones that need it. These are the ones that really need it, that are legitimately unplayable. You can't tell me that you use any of these units anywhere. If you tell me you use these units actually, not just for fun, right? Because more, of course, all these units you can use for fun. But if you're using these units not for just having fun, for actually competitive or like actually clearing PvE stages, either or, if you're using them to clear PvE because they're good, or you're using them for PvP because they're good, in certain, even if they're niche, they're not even niche, they're just bad. Like these units really need it, right? These units really need it. These units, you can make them work. They can definitely help you clear certain content, but a buff would be really, really nice. I think the Luna one would fall in the category if they wanted to make a unit good. For like if they just want them to make them good, I could see Luna getting a buff. I could see Chu getting a buff. If they just legit are just trying to make units strong, right? Because these units are, they're fine, they're okay, they function. But if they just wanted to buff them a little bit more to make them stronger, right? They're just like, let's just make him stronger so they're super insane. Kayron, they could buff Kayron. Okay, the sad part is I could actually see Kayron getting buffed. Even though he doesn't need it, I could see him getting buffed, low-key. Just because they're like, YOLO. I mean, I could see that. I don't think that he should, but I could see him getting it, actually. Just because Smilegate likes to do that sometimes. Smilegate sometimes like, let me just make a unit OP for no reason. They could be like, oh, Kayron, we don't feel he's strong enough. Let's just give him a buff, right? Or they could buff Lilius. They're like, we don't feel Lilius is strong enough. Buff Lilius, right? Smilegate can't do that if they just feel like making that unit broken. Like Flan, they could come in, make Flan strip. If they make Flan strip, holy cow. She would actually be insane cleave unit. Make Flan strip, she'd be one of the most OP units for cleave. Just like slap her on, doesn't touch anything, doesn't react with anything. Holy moly, she'd be so good. Celine would be like way more meta. They could just buff her just to make her OP. She's already fine, she fits in the niche, but they could make her strong just for no reason, right? So that's as far as the RGBs. Now we haven't talked about the MLs, which we're going to talk about now. Because MLs, this one's going to be hard. So let me see for the ML heroes, this one is really hard because there's no ML hero that's quote unquote useless. There's not a single useless ML hero. All ML heroes are viable in their own niches. It's facts. I don't think there's a single ML hero that's bad. Main is shockingly not terrible. The one that I think needs the buff the most. Sorry, let's do this. The same thing we did in the notepad. Let's pull out the notepad. Now let's use it. Units for buff. ML. The ones that need a buff. I would honestly only put Martial Artist Ken. You can hate me out as you want, but I legit think he's the only unit that really needs a buff. Like we're talking like almost borderline unplayable. Ammo Ken. That's the one that I really think needs a buff. This is the one that I'm like, I'll be shocked if he's not in the patch notes over someone else. He's the only unit I think is really needs a buff. Maid Chloe, while she can definitely use a buff and would be nice, she falls more in this one. She could use a buff. Would be Maid Chloe. She could use a buff. She could. She's fine. People love to hate on Maid Chloe because she gets countered by Emo Haze, but it's probably because y'all have never faced a Maid Chloe last pick. Y'all have never faced a Maid Chloe last pick and understand the fear of a good team with Maid Chloe. She's actually really good in the right teams. Like, she's insanely good. Like, the thing about it, she's only good as a last pick, but she has her niche, right? So, Emo Ken, easily the unit that needs a buff. His win rate's trash. We've seen the win rate before. His win rate's trash. He barely is used anywhere. He's kind of a niche defense unit. He needs a buff. But it is hard. Yes, I agree. It is hard to buff him without breaking him, right? So that's why I think this is the only reason Smilegate hasn't buffed him, is because if they buff ML Ken could go from being trash to OP. There's no in between for this guy, dude. There's actually no in between for this guy. Yeah, there's no in between for ML Ken. ML Ken's either gonna be insane or he's gonna be trash. So that's why I think Smilegate's really worried. Because ML Ken used to be so broken early. Like, the first year of Epic 7, he used to be insane, right? So, ML Ken, units for a buff, I could definitely see them giving ML Ken. Units that could use a buff. Could. These are units that would definitely benefit. They would definitely need, like, it'd be nice for them to have it. I think DJ Bassar would fall in this category as well. Very hard to build, but definitely would be very nice if you got one, right? And I think that's actually it. For the need and could. Everything else would be just Smilegate wanting to make units OP. So needs buff, right? So this is a difference. Needs buff. Ammo Ken. Ammo Ken needs a buff. He's unplayable right now. We'll get to the 4 stars in a second, Ray. We'll get to the 4 stars. But Ammo 5, let me put that, my bad. Ammo Ken needs a buff. Units that could use one. They are usable. They are actually pretty good in the right scenarios. Right? This could definitely need it. The thing about it is Maid is also, it's the same thing. Like, Ammo Ken and Maid are very close together, but Maid Chloe has more relevance in RTA. So, shockingly. Right? So, this is it. Right? It's very rare to find an Ammo Ken nowadays. Except on offenses. But the thing about it is if they haven't done an EE for ML unit, so I don't think they'll do it. But alright, my justification for this is ML Ken right now can work for Guild Wars offense and Arena offense, right? That's the only two places he actually is pretty good in, right? Those two places. But the thing about it is everywhere else, there's a lot of counters for him. And even now in offenses, there are so many units like Landy, right? Landy ignores counterattacks. Landy just ignores him. Stana ignores him. There are units that just like completely shut him out. I still use the one that's on my side account a lot in Guild Wars. He's pretty good in Guild Wars offense. But the thing about it, it's like, again, all ML heroes are viable. Like, needs buff compared to these guys needing buff is not even the same. Like, if ML Ken was an RGB, he would not need a buff. He'd be fine, right? He'd be like, he's okay. But because he's an ML hero, he could use a buff, right? Again, all ML heroes are viable in their own niches and are actually pretty good. No ML hero is bad. If you have any ML hero, they're not a bad unit. They're just not as strong as other ML heroes, so they look weaker by proxy, right? So Make Chloe, DJ Bazaar, they're all really good units in the right things, right? And Luluka's insane for PvE. TQM, PvE, she's insane. But yeah, if they gave him if they gave him a true counterattack, like if you crit, you counterattack, for sure, I think he would be more relevant. Like, if he could counterattack Landy, oh yeah, he would be insane. He would be absolutely insane. But alright, these are the ones that need it. Alright, now let's get to the ones that they could do if they wanted to make someone OP, right? So let's say Smilegate was like, we're feeling like making units absolutely broken and breaking the game, right? Who could they buff to just break the game, right? Because they do that. Smilegate likes to do that. They did it with Faithless Lidica. They did it with Cerise. They did it with Sage Ball to an extent. They always can just look at a unit and be like, you know what? We're feeling like breaking the game right now. So we're just going to give this unit a buff that they didn't need, right? They're just going to throw that in there. Who could they buff that people think needs a buff but actually doesn't and would break the game? You guys have been saying it and you guys are going to get so salty and I'm going to defend this. They don't need but could get. And it would break game. I would actually think this might actually break the game. Arc Demon's Shadow. If Arc Demon's Shadow gets a buff, she could break the game. She could actually break the game. You guys are saying she needs it. She does not need it. She's a very hard unit to build. She's a very hard unit to use. A lot of people don't understand how she works. They don't know how to draft her properly. They don't know how to do a lot of things with Arc Demon's Shadow. And a lot of people think she needs a buff, right? Because they're like, she's not consistent, right? And she's not, to an extent. She's not a consistent unit. But you can literally, it doesn't matter if she's not consistent when she's just getting a million turns and if you get lucky. Think Charles, right? Charles is not a consistent unit. But when Charles pops off, you win the fight. Now take that Charles, multiply that by 20 million, that's our Siemens Mercedes. She is very feast or famine, but that is fine. And if you know how to build her properly and you know how to put her in the right teams, our Siemens Shadow actually becomes one of the stronger units in this game. If they gave her a buff, she would legit be the most OP unit in this game, bro. She would be absolutely insane. Right now, she's fine. She's strong. She's not overpowered. She's hard to use, which is why you don't see her a lot, and she has clear counters. But I could see Smilegate buffing her and breaking the game. Kind of like Faithless Lidica, where people will start complaining about her all the time. Right? So let me see some of the stuff y'all are saying before y'all say it. She works really hard in the right scenarios. Yeah, in Legend, she's insane, right? So again, here's something that you guys have to remember. And I try to say this a lot as a disclaimer, and sometimes I forget it, sometimes I don't. But whenever we talk about buffs, you have to remember I'm looking at this from like a top level, like a champion and above point of view, right? Like competitive level. Lower down, Arcima Mercedes is trash. No one's going to be able to get a good Arcima Mercedes lower down. She's extremely hard. I can't even get a good Arcima Mercedes. But in Legend, when you start getting insane gear levels, she becomes a unit that just stomps in Legend. And she's starting to see a lot more play. So if they buffed her, she would destroy everywhere because she already has so many gems in her kit, right? Oh yeah, her S3 is really rough. It's its own tier. Yeah, Legend is its own tier. Legend aside, Arcima Mercedes is fine, right? She could get a buff. That's why I'm putting her here. Doesn't need, but could get, right? Arcima Mercedes. She doesn't need it, but would definitely benefit from it pretty good. Yeah, she's one of those units that's like, I personally want her because I think she's really, really good. Right? Yeah, that's true. General Populance, she's not as strong. But just letting y'all know, if you have the gear to actually make a good Art Demon Mercedes, she's absolutely insane. Right, so let me break it down for you guys why she's actually a lot better than people realize. But why it's so hard to actually build her and why she has so much ceiling and potential. Right? So let's little discussion time. Story time. Why is she good and why is she seeing so much playing Legend, but maybe not further down, right? The primary build that you're going to see her on is going to be Lila Violin counter set. That's like pretty standard, right? So what they try to do with it is, Tav kind of mentioned the stats. It's really hard to get stats, but they get her really high attack, really good defensive stat with decent speed and really good counter set, right? The thing with Arteema Mercedes, in Guild Wars defense, she's actually becoming a really big threat because think of a unit like a Charles, right? Charles and T-Surin used to be there because you have to kill T-Surin or she wrecks your team. So you bring AoE, or you bring tanky units that can tank the T-Surin and you slowly kill the team. Well, in Guild Wars defense with Arteema Mercedes, if you have her on counter set, when they're trying to kill that T-Surin, she's countering a lot. She's applying seal on your tank, so your FCC no longer gets to the barrier, your A-Tower no longer cleanses, your F-Maya no longer gets defense buff. There's a lot of units that this actually messes up. And because she can counterattack, she can proc this S2 that strips your buffs and gives you decreased hit chance, making it harder for you to kill that T-Surin, making you not be able to have buffs almost anytime during the fight. And it's just so much support and so much damage consistently, right? So it's very, very, it's similar to a Charles. Yes, it's not consistent. She's not going to be proccing this, but we all know that Charles used to proc counterattack every single time, right? So imagine an Arteema Mercedes that pops off. She's going to get to this S3 by the time you finish your combo, right? And if you don't, and you're not going to be able to kill her because of her S2, by the time she gets to this combo, she'll be able to S3 you. She has enough burn damage to do quite a significant amount of damage, and you lose the fight, right? So that's in Guild Wars defense. In RTA, the reason why she's so good, and the reason why you don't see her as much in your current tier, right? Here's the thing of why you may not see her a lot on RTA and your lower tiers. The reason why is because when you look at the meta, the current meta before and the current meta you probably see right now is a lot of F10A. It's a lot of Cerise. It's a lot of like fast, aggressive teams. You probably see Cleave 50% of your matches if you're anywhere from bronze to low champion. You probably see Cleave a lot. You see Control a lot. You see aggressive teams a lot. You probably don't see that many tank teams, right? Against those teams, Arteema Mercedes is not that oppressive, right? Because aggressive teams can deal with her quite easily. She is a slow unit. She takes a while to ramp up. But when you get higher up, when you're starting to face FCCs that are 30k HP, when you're starting to face Double Knight artifacts, when you're starting to face those big booster teams that are very well built, Arteema Mercedes starts dominating in those type of teams because she's able to consistently apply damage, seal and take away opponents' advantages, seal things for booster control. I would use her all the time because she can do damage and can seal Champion Serato, can seal Maya, can seal things like FCC, can seal a lot of different things. The S2 with Aureus, she already has an Adamant Shield built in. So if they ban one of your knights that has Adamant Shield, she already has the Adamant Shield passive. She has 50% damage mitigation with Aureus on the board. Her herself has 30% just from crits. And then if you add on an Aureus, it's 50% damage reduction. You are not killing Arteema's Shadow. And if they get lucky, like a Charles, she counterattacks, she pops off, you lose. So you can start kind of seeing where it starts getting to a point where Arteema's Shadow, while she may not seem good to you right now, has so much potential in the future. Because as a unit, the more units that are added to this game with insane passive and stronger passive, and as we move more to a Bruiser style meta that we always tend to come back to, right now we're going back to a Bruiser tank meta, she's going to start dominating again. So it's one of the units that if they buff her right now when she's at her weakest, quote unquote, because right now she's at her weakest. Right now, F10A is everywhere, right? Like aggressive teams are everywhere. She's at her weakest. If they buff her when she's at her weakest, she's going to be insane when she's at her strongest, right? So that's why it's a unit that I could see them buffing. I'm not going to say she's overpowered and super OP because most of you guys, it's not going to be that way. But the higher up you go, the more you start seeing value in her, right? And it's one of those units that's kind of like an investment. She may not give you as many wins as you like now, but if you invest in her, you invest in good teams, you draft properly with her, she'll become a unit that can potentially carry you, right? So if she ever does get a buff, she will be pretty insane, right? So that's a whole rant. So TLDR for RC and Mercedes, I don't think she needs a buff. I think she's fine. If she might get a buff just because they need that. Green Villager does not need a buff. He's still an amazing farmer. He's amazing for Banshee. He's really good as a speed imprinter. Green Villager is actually fine, Ray. Surprisingly, he's fine. Mui's fine as well. A little bit on the weaker side, but she's fine. Some people actually have really good Muis, and they're pretty scary. She's really good for Arena. But Green Arby's really good. She's fine. Mui's fine. Like, again, when we're talking about like, when you look at this list, these are units that are legit unplayable. When you look at units like you can say you want a unit to be like overpowered, but like, yes, that'd be nice to get. But these are the units that are like, you literally cannot play them. Chu could probably go in here. She could use it. She's a little bit on the weaker side. She's a little bit on the weaker side. She could definitely use it, right? So Chu, I could definitely see. But these are units that are borderline unplayable. They don't have PvE presence. They don't have PvP presence. There's a unit that does their job, but clearly just better, right? So it's hard to argue for units that already have their niche, that are already performing, to give them a buff over units that are literally unplayable, right? That's my theory with it. Again, Smoggy likes to do their own thing. And this is just with 5 stars, right? Oh, she's already there. So I don't think, again, TLDR of this discussion, Archdemon Mercedes is a unit that it may not seem as strong now, but it's because she's a very high investment unit and it's not her meta. And even though it's not her meta, she's still pretty good, right? She's actually really good, like really strong. Yes, it is not her meta. It's not her meta at all, but the higher you go up and the more bruiser you get, the stronger she becomes. If she gets a buff now, she may not be overpowered right now, but she will in the future. Like, she'll become a problem unit in the future if they actually buffed her now. And I think she will become naturally. But very high investment, needs to be in a dummy tanky team, and needs to be a meta that allows you to make tanky teams, right? Yeah, you need tanky units with her. She's a unit that is like those super bulky teams with Last Rider Crawl, SCC, A Tywin, Lilius, Ross, like your typical night draft. Oh, Fire Marrow, yeah, Fire Marrow, buff Fire Marrow, bro. So now let's get to the 4 stars. Because there's no other ML. All the other MLs are fine. Oh, yeah. The other ML, I could see them buffing, but I don't think needs a buff, is Apocalypse Robbie. A lot of people don't. It's the same thing with Archdemon's Shadow. Really hard to build unit, really hard to draft unit. It's just a unit that's just really hard to understand how she actually works properly. And it's pretty strong higher up. Like in Legend, again, she sees so much play. But as far as 5 star, I could see them give him a buff. She doesn't need it, but could get really, really OP. But yeah, that's why I could see them getting it, but don't need it. Bro, if they made Sage Ball strip 2 buffs, that'd be nuts. I already use Sage Ball a lot. I love him too. But yeah, I mean, Huang, we can argue, like, again, as far as predictions go, these are the ones that, this is the only unit that really needs a buff that's an MO hero. These are units that definitely benefit, and I could definitely see them getting buffs because right now they're like, okay, they're just niche. These are units that I could see Smoggy giving them a buff because the community wants them to be buffed, that could become problem units or could just be really overpowered, right? So, Arabi already got a buff, but sometimes they double buff units all the time. They double buff units all the time. Just because a unit got a buff in the past doesn't mean they won't be buffed again. There's several units that have gotten multiple buffs. Armintia being one of them, and she's still terrible. But there's a lot of units that have gotten multiple buffs. So I don't see that putting it past them for Arabi to get another buff. You can get multiple buffs. Stene has gotten like 3 buffs. Regular Tene has gotten like 3 buffs. Yeah, Tenebra got like 3 or 4. Stene got 2 or 3. So they can definitely buff more units. All the other MO heroes are in a perfect position. These are the ones I could definitely see. I could see these, but I don't think they should. I think it should be one of the, like 2 of these. And I could see them doing Archdemon Mercedes. Hopefully they don't over buffer. The only thing that I could see them if they just wanted to appease people and would be fine. Would make this 100%. I mean, that's high. That wouldn't break the game. That would just make her a lot stronger, right? If they make this 100% to land without the soul burn, I don't know where they would put the soul burn though. Make it ignore Efres. She'd be a lot stronger, but I could see them doing that. Honestly, I could honestly see them doing that for RC or Mercedes. And the more could break the game to an extent, yeah. But all right, now as far as the 4 stars. Dude, Shadow Rose, I really want them to make her good again, dude. She used to be really good in the past. She had so much potential in her kit, and then they gave her an EE that was absolute garbage for her. She had the potential to be a really good unit. And then they were like, nah, we don't feel like making her good. Let's give her some weird passive that increases her effectiveness. Like, her S1 is so good. They should make it so they remove the restriction for this. Rose got the better EE. Let's just put it that way. Shadow Rose, I would like to see Shadow Rose. She doesn't really have a niche. I want Shadow Rose to get buffed. They already have buffed her in the past, and they kind of just made her a PvE unit. I think she had so much more potential than that. So get to the 4 stars. Let's go again. Like for this one, I just want her to get one so bad. I want her to get one so bad. I really hope they do. Celeste Mercedes could definitely use a buff. I think she needs an EE more than a buff. She's actually a really strong cleaver. It's just she's missing stats. So if they give her an EE for Celestial Mercedes, she'd be fine. So I don't think she needs a buff. Her kit's very cohesive. Her kit's actually really good. If they just gave her like an attack buff, right? An attack buff or an attack buff. That's probably what they would give her. If they just give her an attack buff, she'd be fine. She'd be completely fine. So she's more of an EE unit, so I'm not going to put her in there because I don't think she needs a buff. I just think she needs an EE. She just needs an EE. She's fine. BBK, okay, y'all are probably going to flame me for this. She's another EE unit. I'm not going to put her in the buff because I don't think she needs a buff. Again, she has a cohesive kit, but I think she needs an EE. She's just missing stats. A lot of 4 stars are just missing stats. That's a problem. With most 4 stars, it's not a problem that their kits are bad. It's a problem that they're missing stats. That's literally it. They're just missing stats. Like, if they had more stats, they'd be fine. So, Celeste Mercedes needs an EE. So, Sakura, I think she needs an EE. I don't think she needs a buff. Her kit's really cohesive, right? It makes a lot of sense, right? You get attack buff, self-attack buff, and she pushes herself up to get an extra turn and finish the cleave. Not a lot of cleavers can say that, right? Not a lot of cleavers can say that they can do 2 AoEs back-to-back. That's really powerful. That's really cool. And she does a ton of damage, right? And then you can recycle it with the Soulman. That's pretty cool. So she needs an EE. BBK needs an EE. I don't think they need buffs. Assassin Cartuja, just everything counters him. He could actually use a buff. Make Ascat great again. Make Assassin Cartuja great again, bro. Make him great again, bro. He'd be pretty toxic, though. And they could buff the chance to dodge, but y'all realize if they did that, Riley could theoretically get a 100% dodge chance. Versa could potentially get a 100% dodge chance. But yeah, their inferior stats is what hurts them. 100%. I agree with you 100%, Cabbage. The inferior stats for the 4 stars is what hurts them. That's why all 4 stars typically just need an EE, not a buff. She doesn't, again, she doesn't really need a buff. It'd be nice for her to get an EE. Assassin Cartuja, I could see them getting a buff. Symbol of Unity counters him. Bisaria counters him. It's just like he doesn't see any play anymore, right? Unless he's cheesing, right? He's more of a cheese unit. And his kit is okay. Like, this S1 does nothing. This S3 is actually a really good S3. It'd be cool to see this strip. I could see them making this skill strip and making Assassin Cartuja really good. Yeah, and Kara does it better. I could see them buffing this to make it strip and maybe bumping this up to 20%. I know that's really scary because he'd be a lot better and it could be a lot more toxic. But, like, I mean, all these artifacts already do 20%, right? So, oh my goodness, nah, bro. But I do want to see Assassin Cartuja be great again. I miss Assassin Cartuja. I kind of miss seeing him around. Am I masochistic? I know Dodge meta was toxic, right? It was so toxic when he was like meta, because it was just inherently, it was like oath key or bust. But now we have a lot of ways to deal with him. I think he needs a buff. All these are fine. She's a little quirky. She's just a little quirky. She could use an EE. I think, again, she's just a stat problem. She's just a stat problem. Roll me Warrior Leo. Oh man, this guy needs a buff again. This guy sucks. This guy's trash. I think he's actually arguably the worst unit in the game. Like for an MO. Oh yeah, yeah. See, that's another unit. I forgot our team Mercedes and proc a counter. That's insane. Yeah, yeah. MLK needs a big one, bro. This guy, it's like he doesn't do anything. Like his S1 is trash. It's like 55% chance, 50% chance to break attack. Ooh, so scary. That's gonna kill me. This one, it's like, this one's actually not terrible, but there's units that do this but AoE. Like the new Emma Lilibet does this but AoE, and it's 100% chance. Y'all realize this isn't 100% chance, right? This isn't even 100% chance. You could get 10% with this, and it's like, it's not even like that game breaking. It's so tragic. It's so bad. Like, what is this? It's just trash. This S3, it's not 100%. Why can't they just make it 100%? I don't understand that. The only thing Leo, I'm not kidding you. The only thing that Leo needs to make it good, make this 100%, make it so it can be resisted. I don't know why they're so scared of it. Just do it. Just give it to him. Just give it to him. He won't even break the game if they get that. That's literally all he needs. All he legit needs is this to be either unable to be cleansed or unable to be resisted and make it 100%. Let me see what TJ's saying. This is not 100%. Extended dehydration cannot be extended or decreased. Cleansing does not count as extended or decreased. Oh, S2 is 100%. Wait, is my math just trash? Oh yeah, it's 100%. Alright, it's 100%. My math is trash. The S3 is the one that's 90%. This is still a trash skill though. Like, this is essentially worse than a stun. This is a worse stun, essentially. It's basically a worse stun. That also can detonate bombs. I just think they really need to make this better. Just 20 souls for one target is not enough. Yeah, thank you for letting me know. Thank you for letting me do the math, Ray. I appreciate it. My reading sucks. My reading is terrible. It's probably because I've been streaming for too long. But yeah, he's not great. Bomb and insecure, that's a little too much, but make bomb, like, I don't know, make it so it can't be resisted. That's literally it. Just make this so it can't be resisted and give it 100%. He'd be fine. He'd actually be really good. Not gonna lie, he'd be really good. If they made this not be able to resist it, it'd be really good. If they made it be 100%, it'd be like decent. Yeah, there's a lot of things they could do to make him better. The soulburn being 20, dude, this is a slap in the face. 20 soulburn just for that is like 20 souls for a stun and a decreased cooldown. Like, it doesn't even make sense. It doesn't make, like, it just doesn't make sense to me. It's just he needs help. He needs consistency help. He's almost there. He's almost there. He's almost there. Yeah, specialty change or Mercedes would be really cool. I agree with you, Anthony. I want to see specialty changes for 4-star heroes. They kind of need it, actually. These are fine. These are fine. I don't think there's another one that needs help, actually. Oh, this is the darks. Let's look at the lights. In the darks, that's the only two. In the lights, there's a lot less. These are honestly all okay. Like, Wonder Silk could use a buff. Yeah, but she's an eye for PvE, right? She's like a budget Lidica. She's a budget Lidica. She's a budget Lidica. Gyther's sus. Gyther's weird though, because here's the thing. Gyther's actually a really good PvE unit. He's a really weird PvE unit, but he has potential. But I'll put him in there because it'd be cool to see him be meta. He's actually really close to being a really good PvE unit though. Like, he's borderline a really good PvE unit. I think your speed is nice in PvE. The barrier is insane because according to his attack, that's super nice. And then this just like the healing and like it does damage and it heals. It's one of like, he has the potential to actually be a really good MO PvE hero. But he has potential to be really good. I think a buff could actually make him really good. I think he's okay. He doesn't really need one, but it'd be nice to see him. All these other ones are fine. Wonder Silk would also be kind of nice. I mean, she does her job. But I think Outer Aether doesn't really need a buff. He's kind of weird. I think he's just ugly. Crimson Armin, she's actually okay. She's just like, compared to other knights, she's bad. That's the only problem. As a knight herself, she's actually a really good knight. The only problem is you only get one turn. That's the thing. Crimson Armin is just there as a passive. After her turn 1 S3, she's a sitting duck for the most part. The only thing I could see them is like an EE that increases this to 100%. And then she'd be pretty annoying. She'd be fine. I don't think she really needs... She really needs one. But it'd be cool to see her back in the meta. It's just she needs a very strong like push team. She's really good with SSB though. I use her all the time actually in Arena offense and my other account. Not in this account, but in the other account. And Guild Wars, she's actually really good because it's like it's one knight, 2 artifacts. You have to realize that, right? It's a 1 knight, 2 artifact that can also put up invincibility and immunity for SSB. She's not terrible, right? She doesn't really need it. It'd be nice to see it. She's not meta at all. She's okay. She's not broken. She's not overpowered, but it's really cool. It just frees up your spaces a lot. That's what she's there for. You can free up a lot of spaces with her. I don't think she needs one. The 4-stars MLs are actually like pretty decent. These are the ones I could definitely see them though. These are the ones I kind of needed that are kind of like irrelevant right now. Hey, T-Cross is pretty cool. Make it like she was before. Oh man, her old passive used to be 20%. I think that's the only thing they changed. What's up, Pufer? I actually think that's the only thing they changed. This used to be 20%, by the way. So it was just better adamant shield for the team. And the thing about that, it's like it was like it was Crimson Armin was something else, bro. It was and also this had lower cooldown. This had a 4-turn cooldown. She had a 4-turn cooldown, so you could actually soulburn this skill and have immunity up permanently. That was old Crimson Armin. Crimson Armin was something else, dude. Like that extra 5% was actually a pretty big deal. That extra 5% was actually huge, right? I think it was either was it? Yeah, it was 5% extra. This passive was super annoying for damage reduction, and you could actually soulburn this skill to have 100% immunity every single turn. Dude, this would actually be pretty crazy. She would be really... If they reverted the changes, she would be pretty insane. She was... Yeah, it was a crazy times in the day. It was longer, longer time. I don't think it was 30% critical damage reduction. I think it was 20 or 25. I don't think it was 30. She was insane. Let's just say she was legit. She was everywhere. I don't think there was a single place that she wasn't good. And people would say, oh, just bring Bazaar. But the thing about it was, even if you brought Bazaar, you still have to deal with this passive, which was so broken, dude. Holy, I don't want Crimson Armin to be back. That meta was toxic. That was actually a toxic meta. I don't even want to think about it, dude. She was so powerful. She was so filthy. She was so strong. FCC didn't see play. Think about that. FCC did not get changed. FCC didn't see play. Yes, the Bazaar buff was after. But even if before the buff, it still was like pretty strong. Even now, I think even now they make her back, she'd be insane. But as far as buff, these are the ones I could see them giving them buffs. So like, oh, we haven't talked about... Dude, I never want... Okay. Quick aside. One of the reasons I never do 4-stars or talk about 4-stars in any of the top 5s or any of the buffs is because we can literally sit here and I can count how many useless 4-stars there are. Like Silk, useless. She just got a buff. Still useless. Mercedes. Useless. Armin. She's aight. She's actually aight. Serato. Useless. Could be good. Buffing Serato could actually make him really good. Buffing Serato could actually make him really, really good. Because he actually has like an AoE stun. Just make it 100% and it'd actually be pretty spicy. He would actually definitely see play. Like, he has potential, right? But he's trash. Right, so that's 1 trash, 2 trash, 3 trash. Karen's aight. Corvus, not that great. Cartuja, not that great. Sit's fine. Arcades is fine. Shuri's fine. Dingo, trash. That's 6. Clarissa, even with the EE, she's okay. That's the thing. Even with the EE, she's aight. She works for Wyvern now. She's aight. Leo is only there for Banshee 1-shot and for 1-shots. He's aight. Lots. He's aight. Kali's trash. Maya's aight. She's not great, but she's alright. She's functional. She's not that great, but she's functional. Purgus, he's alright. He's actually not fine. He's not bad. Crossit could be really strong. Cross is another unit that could be really strong because he synergizes so well with Tempest-Surin. This could actually be really good for T-Surin. Like, the thing about it is, like, Crossit, if he gets a buff, has the potential to be, like, OP. Right? He has the potential to be OP. Right? The thing about Dingo is just worse. He's just worth Kitty Cat. Why would you use Dingo if you have Kitty Cat? There's no reason to build Dingo over Kitty Cat. But this is actually pretty insane because it's instantaneous, right? It's when alliance health is below, gets a barrier proportionate to the caster's max health once per turn. This is really good. Like, y'all realize why Crossit could be really strong. Is because he can actually pair really well with T-Surin, and he has a lot of really annoying attacks. Right? That could be really annoying. Crossit has the potential to be really, really good. Dami, not that great. Needs a buff. Cerealia used to be okay, but like, I mean, Cerealia has the problem that all fire units have. There is no PvE for fire units that matters. Right? There's Golem, but it doesn't matter. Right? There's just a lot of units that are just like, Roman, why would you use Roman over someone like Basar? It's just like, there's just better units than him. It's not terrible. Like, it's cool. He's a mage, so it's nice, but it's like, it's not that great. He's fun, but he's not like meta, right? Ren is like okay for PvE. Angelica, oh man, she needs a huge buff. She needs an EE, she needs a buff, she needs something. She used to be amazing, she's trash now. T-Surin, the only reason she sees play is because of the speed imprint, so that's already enough just to use her. He's still trash. Good for the new Katie's hunt though. She's trash. He's good. One guy uses her that's a YouTuber, but besides that one guy, she's alright for Banshee one-shot, but nothing else. So, like, alright, music stop, right? Even though you probably can't hear the music, let me stop the music because I'm gonna be real with you. It's time for real talk. I'm gonna read the chat in a second, but it's time for real talk with you guys about Smage. It's something that really irks me. That it's not a problem in any other gacha game that I know. Well, it's a problem in some of them, but it's not a problem in a lot of other gacha games that I play. But it is something. 4 stars, RGB 4 stars are inherently bad in this game because they don't have the stats that a 5-star has. So they're inherently at a disadvantage. And their kits are super niche, and there's almost none of them. We're at a point where there are more 5 stars than there are 4 stars. We're at a point where there's more 3 stars than there are 4 stars. 4 stars are like super ignored. They're just there. That occasionally there's one good 4-star that makes an appearance for a niche team composition. Rose, I want more units like Rose. I think Rose is an example of a really well-made 4-star. This is a really well-made 4-star. Really strong when you invest in her. Right? So this is what I want to see more 4-stars be like. I want more 4-stars to be like Rose, where they are good at one thing, but they're really good at that one thing. But RGB 4-stars, all these other 4-stars are super niche or useless, right? Aside from Rose, who else? What other RGB 4-star do you see in PvP? Acades. Acades another well-built one. See, Acades, another really good 4-star. We need more of these. Acades, Rose, these two, really, really good. Do their jobs very, very well. Shuri, really good for PvE. Like, these 3 are well designed. All the other ones, I'm like, what are they supposed to be? 3 stars just do their jobs better for them. 5 stars are just more prevalent and better statted. Right? There's just, Sid is another well-built one. Sid's alright. Sid's actually pretty good for PvE. But like, 4 viable 4-stars, like, I'm not talking ML ones. I'm talking RGB ones. There's some super tiny pool, and a majority of them are unviable, right? RGB ones, Skylar. RGB means red, blue, and green. So water, earth, and fire. The 4-star MLs are fine. 4-star ML 4-stars are chilling, right? It's just, I don't know. They have some really well-built ones, but there's just some trash ones. And like 4-stars are in such a bad spot right now because it's just like their stats are just worse. Most of like it's just hard. It's like you'll build, and the thing about it is they have several ways to fix the problem. They can introduce more 4-stars. They could give 4-stars more EEs to make up that difference in stats. Because there's some really cool 4-stars that have a ton of potential, right? But it's just the stats don't let them be as strong. Or the other thing is, why would you use Mola on a 4-star when you need to Mola your 5-stars? Why do 4-stars still cost Mola? Why? They're already not getting built that often. And you're forcing the player to have to use Mola for a 4-star when you probably already have like 20 other 5-stars in your inbox, right? They're not in a great spot, right? 4-stars in this game are not in a great spot. It's just sad to see so many 4-stars that are useless. It's sad that it's so ignored. Like the fact that there is less 4-stars than there are 5-stars. The only 4-stars that were not here at game release for RGB were these 4. All these other 4-stars were here on the game's release. They have not released another RGB 4-star since these 4. Y'all realize that, right? RGB 4, these 4 are the only ones. We're halfway through season 3 and we have not received the 4-stars for this continent. Technically Cerealia. Yeah, you're right. Technically Cerealia, but she was pretty early on. That's just sad to me though. That it's such an ignored like section, and it's just sad. It's just sad for me to see it. It's a balancing issue. It's a gameplay issue, because right now we're getting to a point that just 5-stars are everything. Right? Like look at this. I can literally scroll through pages of 5-stars. And even for like the MO 4-stars, it's not even that long. It's like 2 scrolls and I'm already done with 4-stars. 5-stars, I can literally be here for like 2 decades. Like, look at that. I can just let that scroll and there's still 5-stars. Here I do it one time. Boom, we're already done. I think what they need to do is just make 4-stars not cost Mola. And they'd be a lot better. I mean, the thing about it, it's like, I don't like the idea of having so many 5-stars though. Like, I don't know. I just like, why have like 4-stars is just odd to me. I just want more 4-stars in the game. It'd be cool to see more 4-stars and see them more get EEs, right? Because they already are at a disadvantage, right? Like if Pergus got an EE, he'd be pretty good actually. I could see Pergus being pretty nice with an EE, right? Like there's so much potential here. And then the RGB ones are fine. They're chilling, right? They're actually pretty strong, most of them, if not all of them. I don't think specialty change might be too much. I think they just all need EEs. And even then, some of them are just going to be trash forever. Like, it's sad. Like, 3-stars are just clearly better. That's the other weird thing. Like, with specialty changes, 3-stars have a better chance at being more OP. Right? So, I mean, that was the real talk. You may disagree with me. You may agree with me. It's just, for the most part, most of these 4-stars is just, like, very saddening. It's like, you can't really build them because they cost Mola. And then, like, even if you do end up building them, they're fun. But there's probably a 5-star that does their job better. Yeah. So, all I think is they need to make this so it doesn't cost Mola. And it'd be a little bit better. It's just not worth the investment. Like, even Leo, it's like, yeah, he's actually pretty good for certain scenarios. But it's like, it's just tough. Yeah. It just feels like it's clutter, but it's like at this point, it's like 3-stars are better because they have the potential to also get specialty changes. Like all the specialty change units are broken. Like they see so much play. 4-stars, it's like there are some that see a lot of play. The most meta relevant unit, I want to say it's Rose and Acades. Like these two are actually really powerful, right? Like these 2 units are really, really good. And why are they good? Because they have EEs, right? They both have EEs. Without EEs, they're not that great. Like Rose without the EE was not that good. Acades without the EE was not that good. These 2 units got massive buffs because of their EEs, right? So, same with Armin. Armin's a pretty decent knight, but she needs her EE, and you barely even see her. Because, like, why build her? Why invest in Armin? Why give her Molagora when you can have given that Molagora to one of your RGB knights that are, like, 5-star? Or, like, your other knights, right? So, I don't know. You can disagree with me. You can agree with me. That's just my thoughts on it. I just don't like where 4-stars are right now, and I don't know how they're going to balance the issue going forward. I think they should just remove the Mola requirement, try to introduce more EEs for 4 stars. I mean, that'd be cool. Maybe add a couple more, you know, in connection. I think connection, like, these were implemented really well into the game. They're both, like, he's connection hero, she's not. But these two are connection heroes. I think that's how they should introduce 4 stars to the game, is through connections. Like, give 3 per continent, kind of like they did here. Make them connection, so that way you're guaranteed to get at least 1 copy, and then everyone's happy, right? Then it's great. Then we're back to 4 stars being great again. Make 4 stars great again, bro. Make 4 stars great again, bro. Armin's, yeah, but think about this. Armin for Green Expedition, why not just use Falconeer Clury? Falconeer Clury is a 3-star unit that you also can use for PvP, that you can use everywhere else. Why would you put it in Armin? Like, I'm being serious. Compared to F Clury to Armin, why would you use Armin in Blue Expedition when Falconeer Clury can apply decreased defense, give your team extra sustain, and also be good for everything else? For Water Expedition, she can actually be good, but you need Rowana. That's the problem with F Clury. You would need Rowana. So, oh, I mean, I know Karen. Karen's really good. I've never shown y'all my 4-star. I use Karen a lot because Karen's my waifu, dude. I love my Karen. I use her for Wyvern. I made my Karen. I purposely, but here's the thing. I made Karen even though there's free to play options for Karen, just because I loved Karen. I spent Mola on Karen just because I liked Karen. I use her for Wyvern and I use her for Banshee, right? I use her for those 2 hunts a lot. She's actually really good in those hunts, by the way. So Karen's I like Karen. But the thing about it is I use Mola when there's free-to-play options that don't require a Mola. Right? So it's like, why? You know, it's like there's free, and there's also 5 stars that probably do the job better, right? So I don't know. It's one of those issues that I really don't know how Smilegate is going to balance in the future. I'm not a fan of it. It's just I'm still waiting for the episode 3 4 stars to come in. I really hope they put more 4 stars in the game that are connection heroes, kind of like Furies and stuff, that are like decent. But there's like it's not a good stuff. But all right, that's real talk over for that. I know this is completely aside from what we were talking about with buffs and all that stuff, but I just kind of got in it because, like, when you talk about buffs for 4-star units, they all kind of need buffs. Like, they could all use buffs, with the exception of a couple of them. They could all use buffs. Like, I can't say one needs more than the other because they're all kind of sus, right? For the RGB ones, right? I don't know what Smilegate is gonna do. I don't want to sound negative, right? I don't want to sound negative. But I think it's not something. The thing about it is no one complains about this. I'm like the only person that complains about this, bro. Like, no one else. Everyone's fine with just 5-star units. I like seeing 4-star units. I don't know, dude. Like, it's just no one complains about it except, like, I don't really complain about it. I don't really feel it. But it would just be nice for a game to have that option, right? So that's a big one. That's going to be it for the potential buffs. I think that covered the discussion pretty well. We still have one more discussion, which is sleeper units. That we kind of touched on a little bit throughout the stream, but that's the last one. Let's put back the music. That was a serious talk over. By the way, quick plug before we get to that discussion. If you're liking the video, make sure we sub. We're almost at 4K. At 4K, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to see what you guys want to do. Let me know if you're like, oh yeah, I want to see this. Maybe I'll make a unit for RTA that's not meta. Because apparently I'm a meta sheep. People tell me I'm a meta sheep, right? People always tell me I'm a meta sheep because all my units in my account are strictly based just for being meta in RTA, right? I don't have a single fun unit that I use in RTA. So I don't know. Maybe I'll build like a Cowrick for the 4K. Maybe that'll be my 4K goal will be to build Cowrick and use him in RTA. Since he's a little bit more fun, not as meta. Maybe build a Kisei. I don't know. I'll have to see. I'm building Kitty Cat for sure, though. Yeah, but I have no fun units. That's the thing. I don't have units just to play for fun. I don't have a single PvP unit to play for fun, right? So maybe that's... I don't have my Kitty yet, but I can show you kind of how she's going to look. Or I can show you a good one. I don't have my Kitty built yet. Several clouds. I am working on her, just getting her stuff. But I'm going to give her the Lilia set. I do have my General Purgus built. Oh, General Purgus is great. He's an amazing unit, dude. That's what I'm going to be talking about. Sleeper units. That's the next topic that we're about to get into. For the Kitty Cat, I'll probably be giving her this set. She's going to have a little bit more FRES because of her imprint and from Strake's Gauntlet. And of course, you'll have less HP and less defense, though, than Lilius. And she'll have a little bit more speed, of course, after I finish this and reforging this. I think good kitties are around 220 speed. Kitty Cat Clarissa is actually a really good FRES unit. So let's start the conversation there, right? Also, if you're curious about kitty cats, go to the Discord. There's one. Also, there's someone that literally their name, she's a mod, and she's literally loves Kitty Cat Clarissa. If you just at her in the morning, because she's based in Europe, so in the morning in Europe or in the morning in the United States, if you're based in the United States, let me just show you guys. Message her. She loves kitty cat. She'll spend like 2 million years talking about kitty cat if you ask her, and she will help you, right? She's a mod, and she's super helpful, super nice. It used to be Olivia, but she always changes her name. Let me show you guys real quick for the Discord. If you join the Discord, you can just ask her. Where is she? Where is she? Let me go to the help channel. Her tag is going to be Kitty Clarissa Church Leader. That's her tag in the Discord. So you should add her if you're curious about Kitty Cat, but we're going to talk about her. All right, let's move over to the units that are slept on. So these are units that are actually really, really strong, and legend players are using a lot, and high-level champion players, and a lot of people are using a lot to do some crazy stuff with, right? So these are units that they have not made their splash yet, but are actually secret OP, right? So these are units that are like on the low, they're actually really, really strong, and you can get in the hype train early on to be really, really powerful, right? So hopefully after this talk, you guys will get it. But these are the units that are actually really, really strong. I'm gonna start with some of the 4 stars, right? So first, let's start with 4 stars. None of them are RGB, except no, actually one of them is. Roses. Secret OP units that are like not a lot of people use, but if you use properly, are insane. General Purgus, bro. General Purgus is like the new hot for a lot of legend players. This unit is so good for PvP. Not only is he an amazing Wyvern tank, but he is a really good. Like the thing about it is like you say that, Don, but the thing about it is a lot of people don't know he's good. That's the thing. It's only the people that play a lot in high champion that know he's really, really good, right? Like I'm talking like he's like people literally second pick him. Like legend level players will pick him super early in their draft. Why? It's just the amount of time that he can CR push is so freaking good, right? The build that people are going with is they'll give him immunity set with speed boots around 190 speed and like 25k HP, 200 critical hit damage, and like close to 100% crit, right? So the thing that it does is that he does a shocking amount of damage because of the buff to his HP scaling, and his passive is arguably one of the best passives in this game. It is so oppressive. It is so, so powerful, right? He's a very, very strong unit, not only for PvE. I'm talking for PvP, right? He is really, really, really good. Yes, units like Cerise do counter him, but the thing about it is you can easily either pick him for yourself or just post banner, or pick a unit that counters Cerise, right? If this unit was a knight, he would arguably be the best unit. Again, Eternal, I'm talking about sleeper units. These are people like several legend players pick him up really early. Because the thing about it is like, if you have to use Cerise to counter him, that's already in their favor, right? And they can easily put a unit that can just cleanse, right? Shuts landing down hard. You pair him up with units like Landy, with Stene, with FCC, with any unit that can cleanse as well. And you just, or like him and Rowana, oh, Control is dead, dude. Control is super dead. Him plus Rowana plus a cleanser, GG. You're winning against every single Control player ever. Because it's just like, you get so much. They're both really good. No, Champ C is also really good. Don't get me wrong. They're all really, really good. Champ C, Rowana, like him plus Rowana kills any Control team. With like easy other units that can just cleanse, right? So General Purgus, really amazing. Really, really good. Does shocking amount of damage. Pushes your team up. Gives you so much turn advantage. Forces your opponent. Every time the AoE, you're getting 18% CR push. Because the passive gives him an extra 3%. 18% CR push. You're just moving, bro. You're just moving through the common readiness bar. It's crazy what you can do with him, especially in the right team. General Purgus, a good unit. If you don't have him as your frontline tank and Wyvern and you can give him a PvP build, you will not regret it. He's a really, really good unit. right? So it's a really, really strong unit. It gives attack buff too. It's crazy. He's a sleeper unit for that. Another 4-star unit that is really, really good. This one's not a sleeper. People are starting to catch up. A lot of people are starting to catch up. Yeah, that's the reason with General Perkins, a lot of people use him as a bot. But if you give him a PvP build, he's insane, right? That's the only reason why a lot of people don't use him, is because they have him on Wyvern duty. The other unit, this one, a lot of people are starting to catch on. Kitty Clarissa. If you're still struggling with control teams, you should not be. If you have a Kitty Cat Clarissa, you should be able to stomp those teams. Why? Kitty Clarissa has pretty good base speed, which allows her to be really fast and allows her to go right after different control units. And on top of that, she gets a self-effect resistance imprint that allows her to get a lot more. The fact that she's a warrior class also lets her have access to Strake's Gauntlet, which just gives you a 60% stat boost and effect resistance. You can easily get this unit to 260, 270 effect resistance, which means that you're essentially immune to debuffs with this unit, and you can come in, cleanse everything, and dual attack with your highest attack ally. Her kit on paper is actually really, really good. And she's also really good for PvE, for Abyss, for Raid, and for Hall of Trials as well. Really, really freaking good. Kitty Clarissa is actually a unit that's very highly slept on. She can also AoE strip to deal with units like Landy. If you decide you don't want the dual attack, you can also go in with the S3, you cleanse everyone, and you come in, AoE strip, and it's just like, your opponent's just like, whoa, what can I do, right? Like, that sucks, right? So immune to debuffs, essentially. If you build her right, she's pretty much immune to debuffs, right? Unless it's like a high effectiveness Broman. Like most units cannot get enough effectiveness to actually hit her, or they have to block sack you. So near immune to debuffs, super good kit, and just looks cute. Like, what else can you say? Kitty's pretty good. Yeah, it sucks that you don't have any of these, but we'll get to some other ones. Kitty's great. Everyone that has Kitty, any person that has their Kitty built loves their Kitty Clarissa. There's no person you'll talk to that has a 6-star Kitty Clarissa that will tell you she's bad. They love Kitty. Every unit that has her fully built love Kitty. She's crazy. Super good unit. If you're still struggling against control, really good option. Just also really good for PvE overall. For some other units that you may have, this one takes a little bit more gear and it's a little bit harder, but Rose. Rose is a really, really hard unit to build, but if you give her the gear, she has the potential to arguably be one of the best knights in this game. Very high investment, but I guarantee you most people will post-ban your Rose. Because the thing about Rose is she's arguably the best combat readiness pusher in the game. Right? At first, her base stats look really low, but then you realize her EE gives her 10. That's the only problem she has, why she's so hard to build, is her base speed is atrocious. Right? You need to give her a ton of speed to supplement her trash base stats. Right? Her trash speed stats. Her HP and defense are amazing, right? But what makes her so good is A, she's a knight. She has access to things like Adamant Shield, access to things like Aureus, right? So she's a knight that also gives AoE attack buff. The EE that she gets makes this be every 3 turns. You can get a 20% CR push and an attack buff. You basically have permanent AoE attack buff if you have a good speed Rose, right? That's extremely hard to kill and extremely tanky. She just gives you first turn with an attack buff. That is so powerful. I don't know. There's not a lot of CR pushers. Is there any other one? Can y'all double check this for me? Is there any CR pusher in the game that not only CR pushes your team up, but also gives you attack buff? I don't think there is, actually. I really don't think there is. Now that I think about it. None that gives attack buff and CR pushes. I know like Operator Cigarette pushes back. Yeah, the team no. Literally it's like, yeah, Operator Cigarette pushes back, not up. The thing about Operator Cigarette is she needs effectiveness. This doesn't. This is just a raw 20% push attack buff. Just like, boop, is there. That's so broken, dude. That is so good. So if you can get a really fast one, you get turn 1 advantage and AoE attack buff. That is so good. And on top of that, you still have the Knight passive. And that's just the S3. The S2 is shockingly toxic. If they are able to outspeed you and they're able to lock down one of your units, you can legit just cleanse 2 debuffs, give them a CR push as well. For free. Just for free. Just cleanse 2 debuffs, CR push, and a barrier. That's so good. And then this one, and then on top of that has a provoke. Like, granted, you can also get the EE that gives her both. Or I personally think the debuff duration being 3, the duration on this 1 turn cooldown reduction is better. But the one that makes her have both of these is also really annoying. She's just an amazing knight. She's actually arguably one of the best knights. But the problem with her is she's really hard to build. So if you're someone that likes investing in units that can give you a lot of wins that people are not going to be picking, invest in Rose. As fast and tanky as possible. That's all Rose needs. As fast and tanky as possible. Like, we're talking like 260 plus speed with like as much HP and defense as you can physically give her. Right? Because she has really good base stats, and her EE gives her speed. Right? All around, just great unit. Great knight. Just really hard to build though. Needs to be really, really fast. If you have her be too slow, she doesn't do her job properly. So she needs to be like 260, 270. I don't have my build because she is that hard to build. I don't even have the set to give her a proper Rose build. And the other thing, it's like I don't have a lot of teams that I actually have a lot of teams that benefit off of her too. I am considering building my Rose. I am working towards building my Rose, but I just haven't. Another unit is Achades. Again, same thing as Kitty Cat Clarissa. If you give enough effector assistance on this unit, your team will never die. She can literally cycle S3, S2 every single time. It's so annoying. It is so annoying. Which EE, I think the cooldown reduction is the better one. Or if you're going more for a tankier build and not as fast. Like, let's say you're going for a Bruiser Rose, where you're trying to get that attack buff, maybe like a slow cleave. The EE that also provokes and does the increased defense at any percentage may be better. But I think the cooldown reduction in this 3 is better. Right? So... and I think her awakening is also pretty spicy too, isn't it? Yeah, she gets way tankier too with the defense. It's insane how tanky that unit is. But Achades, another unit, amazing for Guild Wars. Probably one of the best Guild Wars unit. You can literally cycle S3 and S2 every single turn. And if you build her enough FRS, it's just like, if they don't have damage, you just win. Right? And a lot of people like to build teams with not a lot of damage. You slap on an Achades, you just win. They will not be able to do enough damage to you, right? Because Achades just cycle S3, S2, S3, S2, S3, S2, S3, S2. It's just too much for the opponent to keep up with, right? So that's why she's so good against control teams, because control teams typically like damage or have very bursty damage. If you have an Achades that's very high FRS that can survive a burst, she comes in, full team heals, GG, you win the game. Good game. You just straight up win. Right, so that's why she's also so freaking good. And her EE helps her with the FRS, so you can get a little bit of FRS, and she doesn't have her... She has some starting, and you give her the EE. I think she gets like 34%, so it's not bad to get her pretty high up there. So really, really good unit in the current control meta and against no attack teams. So that's it for the 4 stars that are like kind of slept on units. That are just like really freaking good units, right? That they can actually carry you in more than just PvP, right? Rose is also an amazing tank for the Fire Expedition, because if you think about it, attack buff every 3 turns in Fire Expedition, that's amazing. Cleansing and pushing up, that's amazing, right? She's great for Fire Expedition. Every 3 turns you get an attack buff and a CR push. You cannot ask for anything better than that. It's just so freaking good. So that's really, really strong. So that's it for the 4 stars. Now on to the 5 stars. I'm quickly going to glance over this one because we already talked about her a lot in this stream. Oxy Mercedes. People are still sleeping on her. She's good. She's very powerful. Very high investment. Can wreck your team. We had a whole discussion about her, so I'm not going to touch her again. But she's actually really strong. If you have one, I suggest you build her. She's actually really, really powerful. Another 5-star that not a lot of people use, Operator Sigrid. People are starting to come around to her. But Operator Sigrid is becoming a huge menace. Why? The speed build with Guiding Light is usually what people are looking at. Similar to Rose, she's able to set up attack buff very early, strip buffs. This is huge against Landy. This is the big reason why. With Landy being so popular, you can strip her Guiding Light and her immunity and set up for the rest of your team with an attack buff, and you can just easily get rid of Landy, right? Give a stand an attack buff or a follow-up unit an attack buff. It is so powerful, And there's a lot of barriers in the meta. You can easily follow up with this skill. It still does significant damage, but she's primarily being used for the setup potential. She's used more for the setup potential than for her actual damage potential. Unless you're a cleaver, then you're using her for the damage potential. Because for cleavers, you have her decently fast and a speedier cleave, and you're able to, again, just obliterate someone with this S2, set up easily into a CDM S3. Just such an amazing unit, so versatile. In tank teams and in cleave teams, she has become an amazing unit. She's honestly really, really good. The other one, Briar Witch freaking Nysaria. Don't believe this. Never read the point values of certain units, because people do not know how good certain units really are. If you still think Briar Witch Nysaria is not a good unit, I'm sorry to tell you, you're in the wrong this time, bro. Like, Briar Witch Nysaria is so good right now. Why? AoE, this spell, decrease attack buff, and unable to be buffed. You pair it with Bazaar, tank teams can't do anything, dude. You pair it with Bazaar, it's over. With how many landies there are, she just absolutely destroys them. The fact that she also gets immortality makes it so unless they have a fast control unit, you are guaranteed to get this S3 off. It's just, you are guaranteed to get the S3 off. Deals with Rylets like they are nothing. Deals with Chaerons. Deals with Landies. Deals with Stene. I already talked about her before. I already see Meth saying, yes, I have talked to her about her before. She's really OP. I don't know how. If you don't think she's good, let me know why you don't think she's good, and we can argue. But she's insane. The S1 is also so annoying. If you don't deal with her quickly, it's so annoying to deal with this. So, all in all, Ryla can still dodge. Yet, yes and no. The thing about it is some people are putting her either on Guiding Light, or for the fast ones, the fast damage ones, they put her on Symbol of Unity. So it's literally 15 to 85. If you don't hit Rylet, it's just like, alright, you were meant to lose that fight, right? It's a very low chance to not hit Rylet when she's on Symbol of Unity, right? And she gets extra damage. That's a speedier one. And then there's also the Stealth Pick, which is just so powerful. She's so powerful. People are using her all the time up in High Arena, and she's so toxic, dude. But yeah, just let me know. Briar Witch. Just let me know if you think she's bad. If you think she's bad, we can have an argument. We can have a discussion. She's not bad at all. LQC is really, really good. Again, just amazing. Another unit that is actually better than I thought is actually Polides, right? We already knew she was going to be good against Cleave, but people are using her just overall as a strong unit to counter Falconeer Cleary, right? Because Falconeer Cleary is a very strong unit. A lot of people are using F Maya. I assume people knew that she was good, but F Maya is really strong, right? Really, really strong. Fits perfectly into booster teams. But Polides, let me go through her. I did forget about her. I just assumed you guys would know she's good. F Maya is good. She's amazing. I don't have her, but I know she's amazing. You can build her super tanky, can literally bonk units and just execute, and is really good against control teams. And it's just like, if they don't have enough damage, they just lose to it. But I'm going to be honest with you, Polides, really, really impressed with Polides. There's a lot of units that you can actually, a lot of teams that you can actually make with Polides. Polides Cleave is really unique. Damage Polides is what most people are doing. People ended up going with damage Polides, like fast damage Polides, because it punishes a lot of units really, really hard, particularly Falconeer Cleary. And it can set up really well into Cleaves because she's able to apply that unable to be buffed and that decreased hit chance, and then make the opponent scared to use cleansing units with this S2. So shockingly a really, really good unit that people don't know how to deal with properly in the right team composition. Opens up a lot of versatile team making. I have seen people make such unique teams with Polides that not just a Cleave unit, just a pretty solid unit overall. Just does better than you think. As far as artifact, it's Abyssal Crown. It's always Abyssal Crown for mages. It's super annoying because then you can just, this S3 can potentially stun AoE, this S2 can stun AoE, and then the S1 becomes a stun machine, right? So typically it's Abyssal Crown on her. So another good unit. Landy, don't even need to say this unit. This unit with Guiding Light has become a premier DPS. She has become probably one of the most picked DPSs in RTA recently. Oh, for our team of Mercedes, Lila Violin. Lullaby Lane is way better for our team and Mercedes. Because our team and Mercedes, that strip can be crushing. But Landy, premier damage dealer. Also amazing for PvE. For all expeditions. I'm going to tell you guys right now, if you are stuck right now, and you can only pity one unit between Deanne, Cerise, and Landy. Landy you'll probably get the most mileage out of. For sure. Will be Landy. Because she's amazing in PvE and she's great in PvP. For PvP, she does need Guiding Light to be the best. But she also has other builds that are just really, really good. So I would arguably say that Landy is the unit you should go for. If you don't have Deanne, if you don't have Landy, if you don't have Cerise, go for Landy. If you can only go for one, go for Landy. You'll get the most mileage out of your Landy. If you have two Landys, they both work on the same build. You only really need one. Because the PvP Landy is like fast, high damage, and decent tank stats. That's the same thing you need for PvE. I don't think you need to build one PvE, one PvP. She only needs one build. The only difference you do is Bloodstone. You change if for PvE you use Bloodstone. For PvP you use Guiding Light. That's the only thing for Landy. The build works perfectly for both PvE and PvP. She works fine. She's insane. She's the best unit in the game. The other unit coming out to wreck the meta that people are starting to realize has always been OP, but is going to be extra OP is Bazaar. Bazaar was kind of starting to fall off because the teams were getting a lot faster, units were getting a lot more aggressive. But again, with the RTA changes, and with people starting to build a CC again, people using Landy on Guiding Light, Briar Witch Isaiah being so prevalent, Bazaar has come stomping in. Even though Holiday Youthfiend still exists, the pressure a Bazaar puts on the opponent, it legit becomes, if you put Bazaar against like Last Rider Crawl, FCC, Landy, they are forced to either ban him or pick Holiday Youthfiend because they just straight up lose. It's an auto win button. And then the thing is, if you have him and Briar Witch, it's just GG, bro. GG Nori. You put him and Briar Witch Isaiah, they can literally just shut down certain teams. And there's nothing they can do about it. So it's insane, dude, how strong Bazaar is, especially in the right team composition, even with Holiday Youthfiend in the mix, because it becomes a must-ban situation, right? Bazaar makes it so it's a must-ban situation in those tanky teams because that soul burn is crushing. You're not getting buffs with your Last Rider Crawl, your Cerise is crushing. You just straight up like lose, right? It is a super oppressive pick. If you pick Bazaar, their opponents are either forced to ban it or overcommit to countering him. And that's why people actually tend to pick Bazaar very early on as well. The other thing is he has such good matchups against units like Landy and Briar Witch Isaiah. He has become a crazy good unit. Another unit that I'm still going to push to you guys is going to be Vivian. Vivian, the cleanse EE is so annoying. The only thing, again, she does need to have Dignus Orb to be able to work properly. But speed Vivians with the cleanse EE make it so you get counters to a lot of other teams. She does get countered by the assassins and faster units, but for the most part, the buffs are just so powerful, and the ability to also cleanse a debuff with the EE makes her so valuable, particularly against Bazaar and a Tywin. Her matchup against a Tywin is ridiculous. If you're struggling against a Tywin, build a Vivian. She just dumpsters him, right? Just super, super powerful. But how much health would you want Holiday Youthfiend? As much as you can get, I would say like 15 to 16k. It's a really nice Holiday Youthfiend. So, but I mean, see who else? Who else is also kind of a sleeper pick? So that's it for like the units that, like, if you didn't know that they're strong, right? There's some other units that are like starting to get up there, but are not quite there yet. I think Cowrick is not quite there yet, but I think he has potential to be a very strong unit. And Kisa is another unit that's just right there. It's not the quite right meta. And the last one that I feel like she has potential to be really powerful and actually potentially be oppressive is Charlotte. Y'all, Charlotte is so annoying against the right team. The only unit that you need to watch out for is Last Rider Crawl. If you can guarantee yourself a Last Rider Crawl, if you can pick Last Rider Crawl, if you own a Last Rider Crawl, and they start picking units like Landy, and they start picking units like S10, you slap on a Charlotte and it's over. Speed on Holiday Youthfiend, I think the best speed on Holiday Youthfiend is around 240, because that way you're able to go right before your team and cleanse, right? But Charlotte, if they don't have if they don't get Seaside in there or Last Rider Crawl, Seaside or Last Rider Crawl, they are in a world of hurt. The fact that she's a knight lets her have access to things like Justice for All or even things like Holy Sacrifice, right? Charlotte has insane potential to just do so much damage because all of her skills are AoE and you don't have to worry about crit rate on her. This awakening sucks because you don't need crit rate on her. All her skills automatically crit. She is such a good unit if you pair her in the right team. In the right team, right? There are a lot of counters to her, which is the reason she doesn't see as much play. But I think she has potential to be an amazing unit, especially with all the landies running around. With all the landies, all the Stennis running around, Charlotte can dumpster them. I mean, yes, RZ and Mercedes. Yes. But again, one of the reasons people probably don't build her as much is because she's not she's very Molo hungry. You need to actually Molagora all of her skills for her to be strong. So, and the thing is, she's only a counter to certain teams, right? She's not guaranteed a crit through anti-crit, I don't think. Let me see. Yes, even through anti-crit. She will always crit through anti-crit. Yeah. This attack will always result in a critical hit. You don't need you kind of need S2 though. The S3 is pretty strong, dude. S3 is pretty strong. I guess, yeah, S1 is probably the only one you need. I don't use Charlotte, so I'm not the best place. I think she has a lot of potential though. But I don't know. It's just so strong, dude. This S1 is so oppressive. It's so annoying. And like the S2, giving her these buffs is so toxic too. Because you can just literally cycle attack with an increased defense. But it's a nice unit. I could see not needing this S2, but that means you're not going to get to your S3. And your S3 does a ton of damage. She just needs attack. She needs like a ton of bulk, right? Because none of her skills are not based off of her health. She needs attack. She needs like attack and bulk. That's usually, and speed. Her speed is pretty low. It's a potential unit. It's just something I'm throwing out there. It's a good counter pick unit. Is she broken OP? No, by no means should you go out there and build her right now. She's just a good option. She's a good, solid option against certain teams, especially Landy, right? Some people, you could probably do lifesteal. You can do a lot of stuff. I don't know what would be the best build for her, but she has potential, right? So very, very potential unit. The other unit that I'm having a ton of fun with, and people say she's fallen off, but every time I use her, I'm like, dude, this unit feels really good, is Alencia. Alencia is still a really good option, right? How is she good against tanky teams? She's good against tanky teams because you can reach their DPSs. Because a lot of tanky teams use units like Landy. A lot of tanky teams use units like Stene, like Akali. Like anytime you have a unit that can hit, it's pretty good. Not against tanky teams, against S10 teams. I'm sorry if I'm misspeaking. I'm starting to get tired. So I think that's kind of a cue. If I'm starting to misspeak a lot, I don't want to misprint information. Y'all can probably hear my voice is starting to get a little hoarse. That's the most talking I've done in a good time. But yeah, Alencia, dude, is so good. I'm having so much fun with this unit. I don't know why people don't think she's good anymore. Because she's honestly so strong. Especially against Landy. You're able to strip that guiding light. Strip that guiding light and it's over. But yeah, I need to drink more water. So let me take a quick break. Let me read the chat. Ooh. But yeah, Landy, very good unit. Some other units that are also really good are things like Mursa. Right? So Mursa, another really good unit. Yeah, you reminded me of Mursa. I almost forgot about her. She's basically, in some scenarios, she's better Rylet. Right? So in some scenarios, she's a better Rylet. Because she does not get messed up by Cerise or by Seria. Because you can't ship her evasion. It's innate. Her S3 also gives her speed buff. Her S2 gives her speed buff. And the S3 has insane damage calculations. So, for the most part, yeah, Holiday Euphine is like mostly a counter pick unit. But the thing about it is if you play Fallen Cecilia, you play a lot of Holiday Euphine, right? She's not bad against T-Cern either. Because you end up hitting T-Cern a lot and applying burns. So you can actually open up a lot of stuff. Yeah, the assess kit is weird. That was because Kennedy, that was from the old days. But alright, y'all. I don't want to lose my voice because I still have to do videos tomorrow and on Tuesday and streams on other days. So sadly, I will have to close stream. But before I close, we are almost at 4K subs. I will try to build a fun unit. I'll make another poll from some of the units that I've been thinking about that I just never got around to building. And you guys will get to pick my fun RTA unit that I will showcase to you guys probably when I'm a lot further down the line, probably like in 2 months. I'll be able to showcase another unit. But we're almost at 4K, so if you like the video or if you like any of the videos that I've been putting out, make sure to like and sub. If you don't like the videos and you hate me, let me know why. I want to know. I always want to know if you dislike something about me, if you think I'm bad or you think I'm terrible at something. Just let me know. I mean, I always like different advice that you guys give me, especially if like you're someone that like is not subscribed. If you're not subscribed, let me know why. Is it just because you got lazy or because you don't like me? And if you don't like me, let me know why. I take criticism pretty okay. I like criticism. If someone like whenever you guys correct me, I always love it because I think it's really good that you guys correct me. Like with the Charlotte thing, I love that you guys correct me. Like with Charlotte, she probably only needs Molo S1, and she's probably fine in that way. So, but yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, that is all I got for you guys today. I am gonna head and sleep and rest my voice. Almost 4K. Let's get it before February, and then let's do it. My thumbnail sus. Yeah, I've been trying though. I've tried. But alright, that is all I got. I gotta go before I lose my voice. Also, it is end of the week, so make sure you have bought your Molagoras before that. Oh, thanks, bro. I appreciate it. But make sure you get your daily Molagoras. If you haven't already, make sure you get all your stuff. Week resets tomorrow. So make sure you have everything set up. Because if you don't, it's resets tomorrow, right? Let me make sure I got my charms. I'm going everywhere. Let me see if I got my charms. Get your charms. I did not get my charms yet, so let me get my charms real quick. I don't think I have a lot of gear to feed this. Let me see. Where's all my trash gear? I think all my trash gear is on my necks. I kept this one because I feel like it could roll all into speed and be really good. That's the only reason I kept it. Same with this one. This is a little bit more on the sus side because that's no effectiveness. So let me put it in there. But it's 4 speed. That's why I always struggle because I'm like, oh, it's 4 speed. Do I really want to sell this? I'll roll it before I sell it. Let me see. It's actually pretty nice on that one. It just sucks that it's on that set. This is kind of sus. I don't think I'll ever use this set on DPS, so I sadly will have to sell that. I feel like you're gonna be hitting. I should have ended a little bit earlier. Gear vid. I don't know if y'all like gear. Like, what do you mean by gear vid? I was supposed to end the stream, but I realized I needed to do my weeklies. So let me just do this real quick since I'm with you guys. I don't think I'll ever do that. I don't think this looks. I don't think I'll ever use that. This actually has potential for like some of those oddball units. With the new gear reform changes, even that, I hate effectiveness efforts. I can't fix this piece. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. One more on the stream. Nah, bro. Level 6, I gotta go, bro. I'm tired. But make sure you do your weeklies. That's all I wanted to say before I close the stream. Make sure you do your weeklies, your raids. I did my raids. That reminds me I need to buy the entry to the other one. Senya should be coming soon. So Senya should be coming in the near future. So let me make sure I got all my weekly stuff before I forget. It's right here. Let me find it. There we go. Alright, I got all my weekly stuff. Wait, what? With Crafter. Don't say wait, bro. You're gonna make me stay here. Let me see the last question. Last question and then I'll close the stream. Oh, shoot, I forgot. Hold up. You're right. Thanks for reminding me, Myth. Guild Wars are tomorrow. Let me do that real quick. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna be here for another 2 hours. Let me see, what fort do I think needs to be taken off? I kind of want to sit here because I want to see how they can. Oh wait, I already. Do I have to remake this? My T-Servant's already awakened, right? So I don't know why it didn't register it. Conquest Shop free energy. I don't know actually. I never have done it. I think it's good if you already have all the other stuff. Let me just reset my T-Servant because for some reason it's like assuming I didn't rebuild her. That's weird. Because she's already imprinted. So I don't know why it still says that she's not quite there yet. Let me see if it still shows. Alright, this is just like a chill time. I'm not going to be talking too much because my voice is actually starting to hurt. I'm just finishing off some stuff. It's really still showing her with the imprints. Alright, let me take both of us off real quick. I haven't seen your defense actually. Oh, this is your deep. This defense looks really good. I know this is a bait defense and I know it does really well. Let me slot you in there. And let me see. I kind of wanted to try my defense. Low key, low key. On the low, I wanted to try my defense. But, let me see if I can take someone off. That I think all their defenses are doing so good though. Or they're doing okay. I'll put you there. Let me see. I really wanted to try mine, but let me see what other people have. I think let me see his defense log. His second defense gets wins. So it's actually not bad. I think I was doing really bad on mine. Let me see bottom fortress. Later Primarch. Let me see what how our fort is doing here. I know she's also trying a new defense. Alright chat, what do y'all think? Should I leave the current fortresses? Do you think they're performing okay? Or should I slide myself in a fortress? What do y'all think? This is my defense. It's pretty toxic actually. Should I slot myself into one of those fortresses or just keep the current ones? Because I know Myth asked and I do want him to try it out. Dawn, they're, yeah-ish. I'm gonna say ish, Dawn. If you're a champion level player in Arena or in RTA, I can make a space for you because I have my side account right now and I hate having to log into both accounts. So, ish, technically yes, but I'm saving it for someone that's strong, like really strong, because I'm really trying to push for top 100. So I'm gonna say ish, yes, ish. Yes-ish. Yes-ish. You made your choice? Alright, bet. Alright, Hufer. Are you ready? Are you gonna do it next week? We're so close, dude. It's like we're one. Okay, here's the thing. Our defenses are popping off. Let me see. Oh, man. Y'all are getting me too excited again. This is why I needed to go to sleep when I said I was going to sleep. Our defense pops off super hard, right? Let me see if I can see the Warlord. Like, for the most part, our defenses do pretty good. It's just our offenses are trash, dude. Like, things like this, like, our defense is doing really well, but our offense is sucking. Like, we never get over 10K because, like, we tend to end into fortresses, right? It just sucks. And, like, things like this, oh, my God. Dude, things like this just make me want to cry. Like, losing by 40, Havoc, I wanted to cry that night. I was like, depression. Like, with this one, it was an easy win, bro. This was such an easy win, but we all entered into the fortress. So, it's just, our defense does work. It's just, our offense is trash. It's tragic. Let me see. This one was a mistake on my part. These two were completely my fault. Why we lost these. Because I didn't have someone that could actually take on the Black Soul Fortress. So this part really does suck that like I just recently put my side account as a fortress because I know everyone cares about their mystics and sometimes no one will reach this. Assuming your fortress is right, no one should ever be able to take this down. But you still want someone just in case they do reach it that is not free, right? You don't want to put your strongest player, but you don't want to put your weakest player either, right? So I put our weakest player there, and we got destroyed because of that. So that was completely my fault that we lost that fight. That was completely on me because I should not have assigned it in that location. So you wanted to try because you get tons of defenses as a tower. I know that. I know you always win as a tower. So I'm curious how you'll do as a fortress. Let me see. Is he trying a new defense? That's the only thing. I don't want to take it away if he's trying a new defense. I don't think he is. It's just, I know 4 people lose the... Like, there's no chance you'll get attacked most of the time. Like, you'll rarely ever get attacked. So you'll rarely ever get defense wins. And then you don't get to test your defenses as much. But okay, I think I am going to do... I think I am going to do that. But yeah, then that last lot will go to you, Hufer, and I'll just leave my side account in here as a poster. As an expedition poster thing that just pumps out expeditions. That way I don't have to log in into 2 accounts to do Guild Wars every day, dude. It makes me so sad to have to do Guild Wars every day. Alright. I'm gonna slide him next to the tower. You can check log. T-Sir and Kara on SCC is really solid. But I like this defense. I just don't know what to do with the second defense. Yeah, what do you think of my defense tab? Do you think is alright? I think it looks decent. It's very new. But yeah, I'll leave you the slot because we just opened the Fit 30 slot, so I'll take myself off of Guild Wars on my side account, and I'll just make it a poster thing. Did I really not do anything? All right. If I get clapped, I'm taking off myself off a fortress this time. If I get clapped. If I don't get clapped, I won't take it on. I thought about I tried the Rylet one, but it wasn't doing enough damage. The Rylet, I might need to I will try the Rylet later on, Taff, but the only thing is with my Rylet, I still have to reforge his chest. I still have to enhance it. So I just don't have gold to enhance it right now, but I will be able to enhance it. I'll switch it to Rylet later. Dude, SCCT Sir and Landy is just pretty spicy. It does lose the Basar though. Okay. So we'll slap that there. And then we'll put healer here for now. Yes, Cerise is on Confile. Yeah, I was supposed to go sleep. But then I started doing stuff because it's like reset day tomorrow. So like I got caught up. I was supposed to end. This is why I never get sleep. But alright. Let me see. Oh my god, I misclicked. I took one off by accident. Oh yeah, this demon's looking a lot better now, actually. Alright, there we go. Hey, what's up, Ikoi? Thanks for the support, bro. Alright. Now, I am officially. Let me make sure. Alright, we got everything. All the fortresses are set up. Officially going to sleep. And closing Epic 7. So, that's all I got for you guys today. Make sure to sub if you haven't subbed. Thanks for dropping by. 4K thing later. Yeah. That's all. I don't know how to end the stream, so I'm just gonna end it.